All right, this is Igor. Welcome to this call. It's 2 p.m. Eastern, so we're right on time. Thank you for being on time, by the way. My grandpa used to say, if you're on time, you're late. Certainly felt that when he took me places. All right, give me a quick shout out in the chat. Let's test the signal. Hey, Tom from Virginia. Hey, Gustav, Steven. Hello, hello. Yep. All right, the Vikings in the house. James. Oh, James, by the way, my team should have been in touch with you about your request, which I'll be announcing today as well. Got something really incredible in store for you guys. Something really cool. I mean, your request just sparked for me to create something entirely new from scratch that didn't exist before, and I think is gonna blow a lot of people away. We're almost done putting it together, and I'll be announcing it in about an hour. So stick around for that. So more people post in the chat. Let me know. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Very important. I wanna know. This is, you know, a lot of people come into these webinars and be like, is this live? Is this live? Is this audience real? Is this audience real? You need to put something in the chat so I know. Hey, Paul from Winnipeg. Bet it's really cold in Winnipeg right now. All right. Cool. All right, more ones in the chat. Hey, Peter from California. Cannot hear you, Igor. Okay. If you cannot hear me, Denise, please increase your volume or restart, go to webinar. All right. Hey, Bobby. Bobby says it's cold. David, Tracy from California. Bobby's in North Carolina. All right. David's from Melbourne. Okay. What time is it in Melbourne right now? Denise. Guys, can we message Denise and let her know she needs to restart her GoToWebinar? Cool. All right. Whoever didn't post yet, post in the chat. Where are you from? Where are you coming in from? And we'll get going in just one more minute. We got a lot to share today. A lot of exciting stuff for 2026. We got Phoenix in the house. Oh no, Phoenix Country in NSW, Australia. Okay, what's NSW stand for? 6:20 a.m. in Melbourne. Okay, cool. Our guest actually is originally from New Zealand, who's going to be coming in a minute. So I'm sure he's used to getting onto webinars in the middle of the night. France, Isabel's from France. We got David in Antigua, nice. Kansas City, Mark from Hawaii, North Carolina, another North Carolina, New South Wales, the state in, okay, so Linda's from New South Wales, Friendly's from Minnesota. Right, guys, so when I say post in the chat, I mean post in the questions box, not in the chat. There's no chat here. There's a questions box where you post stuff and it gets to the admins. Okay, so put one in the questions box if you can hear me okay. Minnesota. All right. Oh, there we go. I should have been clear with my instructions. So everything goes in the questions box today, guys. Okay. Arizona, Kiribati. Where is Kiribati? We got Domenico from Fiji, 7:04 a.m. Cool. Okay. Carrie's in Washington. There's Dallas, Texas, California, Seattle, Washington, Niagara Region, Ontario. All right. Oh, that's Dave. Waterloo, New York. Fantastic. Okay. Signals coming through. We're 5 minutes after the hour, so ready to begin. So the reason I called you in today for a second training with Aiden, who I invited for a training last week, is because once a year, Aiden Booth comes out of his bat cave to bring to us what's working right now at the time as you know he's coming out. So in 2026, January 2026, he's coming out and sharing his 3-click commission system that that shows us how to make money without selling. Okay, so it's a really cool system. It's an industry that's been around for a long, long time. And Aiden has actually been part of that industry for like 20 years now, maybe a little bit less. And he and his team perfected the approach. So they're able to make a lot of money by simply referring people, getting clicks, really targeted clicks, directly to something called action pages. And these action pages convert free visitor, not the free visitor, they convert visitors without having the visitor pull out their credit card into commissions for Aiden and his team, allowing them to make a lot of money. A lot of money. He's actually going to be sharing just how much money and how they're making it. So today on this call, he's going to go over the offers. He's going to go over the pages. He's going to talk about traffic. He's going to show case studies. And when he's done showing off, I'm just kidding, when he's done teaching, he's also going to invite you to join his 2026 cohort of students, which I will be recommending you do. I already recommended it last week. We had a bunch of people join, and I offered a bunch of bonuses, but I will be recommending it today as well. And I got a really, really, really sweet surprise for those of you who are going to be joining him, because I created a completely unique, completely new program that will blow you away. That is absolutely going to be the cherry on top of that cake. Okay, and I'm gonna advocate for you to join his program by ethically bribing you with this bonus. Okay, which I'll announce in a bit when he's going to tell you more about his program and his methods. So Aiden and I go way back. He's genuinely someone I've known for years and years and years. We made each other a lot of money. To date, I think one of the biggest promotions that anyone ever done for me is actually he's holding that record. He's an incredibly, incredibly powerful marketer. At the same time, super nice guy, super down-to-earth guy, family man just like myself, lives a very quiet life between Argentina and I believe New Zealand. I think his wife is originally from Argentina. Travels a lot, really walks the talk when it comes to living the quote-unquote laptop lifestyle. He also tried all possible ways to make money online. Like if there's a method to make money online, he did it, and usually did it quite successfully. So e-commerce, has a big e-commerce business. In fact, his e-commerce business is so big that they got products in CVS pharmacy in the States. He's done affiliate marketing for years and years and years, since before I knew what affiliate marketing was. He's done agency, he's done software, he's done niche sites, membership sites, everything. And this year, he tells me that he's scaling everything else down, and he's doubling down on this thing that he's going to be teaching you today, the 3-click commission system. And what I absolutely love about it is that I actually give you several reasons a little bit later why I love it. I wrote them down here. But what I love about it the most is that it does not involve AI. You do not need to be an AI genius, okay? And that this method is very, very, very simple. And I really mean it. It's very, very simple. There's very few things that can go wrong here. There's no unneeded complexity to it at all. It's very straightforward. And this industry has been around for a long time, and it's only growing every year. And right now, every big company, every major player is part of that industry too, which means it's only going to be expanding and expanding and expanding into billions and billions and billions of dollars every single year, out of which, if you just snatch a tiny little, bite, you're going to make more than enough money to pay your bills and live a good life, whether it's in California, even if it's in California, even if it's in a place like Toronto or Seattle, where coffee is $15 a pop, right? Or Vegas or whatever. You can really make a great living doing this. So I think as far as introductions go, Aiden, it's as good as it gets. So welcome to the list building lifestyle universe.
Thanks so much for having me here, Igor. It's always great to to jump on these calls with you. I'm going to see if I can get all my technology working first, just to make sure everything is going there, and then we'll be able to get in. And I was trying to think about the first time we met. I know that it was at a live event. It may have been in Orlando or Austin. I can't remember, but it must have been at least 6 or 7 years ago now, I think. So
Yeah, for sure. I think it was Austin.
We've seen a few changes in the online landscape, but as I was saying, it is awesome to be here. And I'll tell you one quick story about Igor and my relationship. So right after the Argentine soccer team, the Argentine football team, won the World Cup, he sent me a signed shirt of one of the guys who scored in the Argentine team in the World Cup, and I've got that framed in my my home gym in New Zealand. So I always think of Igor every time I'm doing a workout in my home gym, and I look up and I see the signed shirt. So yeah, we go a long way back, and real privileged to be here with you today, Igor. So thanks for that. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's great to have you, man. Great to have you. As I told my team, you come out once a year, so it's very special, truly. And yeah, I'm excited for what you got to share. The first call got incredible feedback, and I expect nothing less from this call here. Hopefully this time your microphone won't act up. Other than that, I think we're good to go.
Well, you know, I've got multiple backups this time, so fingers crossed the technology works. And look, this is a live workshop, as you're saying. We are here genuinely live, which means anything could happen. What I do promise everyone, though, is we are going to do our absolute best to make sure that you understand how this method works today. You see real results that we've been getting in our business, and you leave the workshop with all of your questions answered, and you know whether or not this is something that you want to add into you know, what you're doing in 2026 and beyond. So maybe I can go ahead and dive in now, Igor. And
let's go.
We've got lots to cover. So I would love to ask the audience, just before I go any further, give me a 1 in the question box if you can hear me okay, if you can see the slide okay. Hopefully you can see my webcam as well. I know sometimes that works for some people and not for others. The ones are coming in. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Haima. Thank you, Catherine, Todd, June, Dominico. Awesome. All right, Denise, great. Okay, we're going to dive in here. So Igor has given you a really good overview, actually, of what we're doing here. And so now what I want to do is get you excited about it, because I think you should be excited about it. And I want to dive down into the more granular details so that you can see how it works. And I would urge you to use that question box as much as you need to. We are here genuinely live, and we just want to make sure that you get every single question answered. So what we're talking about here today, and what we're going to show you, are actually 3 different frameworks that are $500 per day frameworks. So you're going to see exactly how this works. You're going to see how we've been able to make over $86,000 in under 2 months, promoting some pretty weird kinds of offers, and how we are able to generate all of this money without selling anything, and by actually helping people, giving them what they want. So we love this model, and it works incredibly well. You're going to see the frameworks, as I mentioned. You're going to see how we can make $200 per lead in commissions, and you're going to see the types of offers and the places that we get these leads from, or we get these commissions from. You're going to see how we've turned the system into a well-oiled machine. I mean, what we're building here are online income machines. We're not building massive empires. We build one online income machine, and we move on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and it works. It works like gangbusters. You're going to see also why and how we're able to get half of the visitors that come to our website to actually take action and click to take the next step, which is something that's unheard of, but it's going to make perfect sense to you why that happens as we dive in here a little bit. You're going to see some software that we haven't revealed with hardly anyone, brand new, that we've been developing over the last year or so, and you're going to see why this is radically different, how it can result in huge commissions, massive conversions. And again, like Igor said, by not selling anything. We don't do anything with Amazon. We don't do TikTok. We don't do ChatGPT. We don't do Facebook ads. We don't have customers to deal with. We don't need any AI tools. We don't sell any. We don't need products. We don't sell products, neither physical nor digital. We do no selling whatsoever, and it works. It's kind of old school, but it works incredibly well. And Igor mentioned it, we are really doubling down on this area of our business because some of the other areas of the business are getting much, much more complex. So this is definitely the one that we're doubling down on in a big way in 2026. You're going to see the 3 steps that we go through to get up and running. And Igor gave you a bit of an introduction to me. I am from New Zealand originally. I live in Argentina most of the time these days. And my business partner, Steve Clayton, you're going to hear from Steve in a moment. He's been online since even before me. So I got started in 2005. I actually learned a lot from Steve many years ago. And we became partners. We've done over $100 million in sales, everything from physical products to software to traditional affiliate marketing to services to agencies, pretty much everything you could imagine. And we've also seen, incredible changes over the last 20 years, but nothing compares to what we've seen over the last just 12 months. It is incredible how fast things are changing and how some models are just becoming redundant and that much more difficult. So I urge you to use the question box as much as you need to. Ask us what your questions are as we go along here. We'll stick around as long as it takes to answer all the questions, and try to come into this with an open mind. So if you've got some experience online, fantastic, but when you're listening to what we're sharing with you here, think about it with a clean slate, okay? And we do have a bonus gift for everyone at the end. So, obviously our results are not typical. We've been doing this a long time. I can't guarantee that you'll have the same success as us. I couldn't guarantee that because I don't know your lifestyle, your background, your work habits. And in order to make any money, you need to put in the action, you need to put the work in. It's obvious, but I want to make sure that's clear, and I want to say it anyway. So with that said, I'm now going to introduce you to Steve. Steve, let's do an audio check, and maybe you can take the slides.
All right, hopefully you can hear me okay. And let me see if I can, oh boy, yeah, I get this, something changes every once in a while with, let's see, all right, I think I can still do it. Let's see, show my screen.
Something's happening. Let's see.
Did something work? Ah, there we go, maybe. Did it work for you?
My end. Yeah, there we go. It worked now. Yep, you're good to go.
Okay, great. All right, fantastic. Okay, so what do we, really simple system. It is about generating commissions, but I think when people hear that, they often jump right to, okay, well, this is affiliate marketing, and it's not. It doesn't have anything to do with sort of regular affiliate marketing. When you're dealing with regular affiliate marketing, you typically have to create, a lot of content pages, maybe some review pages. Like maybe you're an affiliate for, say, Amazon, and you get paid a small percentage when somebody that you send to Amazon buys something, right? So you're creating all sorts of content to try and get people to go to Amazon to buy stuff, maybe some review pages, product comparisons, you're doing, all sorts of social media and all that kind of stuff. That's usually what we mean when people get paid commissions, but that is not what we're doing. We're not doing any of that stuff. And we're not doing any of that stuff because it's too much of a pain in the ass, quite frankly. It gets complicated, it's time consuming. And the key is, and Aidan said this, the real key is that with this system, we don't even sell anything. Nobody needs to buy anything for us to make money. That's a really important point. And all we're doing really is getting rid of what we call the friction between you and making money. And the less friction that we can have, right? So there's a lot of friction in getting someone to actually buy something, but if we can get people to just take simple actions on the websites of other companies, well, that's a lot easier to do, right? There's a lot less friction. It's a much more simple model. And every time that these folks take these actions, we get paid. And we get paid by these big companies, right? Like Samsung, Netflix, Shopify, there's thousands and thousands of them. So what do we mean by an action? Well, an action in this context is when somebody that we've sent into this process submits some sort of piece of information on the company that's paying us commission on their website. So maybe it's they put an email address in, or they put a physical address, or their phone number, or sometimes it's just even as simple as they've entered their zip code. Really, it's that easy. And the minute that these folks perform that action, we get paid. We get paid a commission. And obviously, the only reason that these companies are paying us for this is that they will, treat these folks like leads and follow up with them in some way and sell them products and services. But we don't care. We don't care about any of that. We don't have to, we get paid whether they ultimately buy anything or just disappear. It doesn't matter. As long as we get them to perform the action, give this company their email address, put in a zip code, something like that, then we're done. We get paid. And it's really as simple as 3 clicks, right? Which is about as simple as it ever gets. There are only 3 clicks between you and making money. So what happens is the first click, they will click on an ad of ours, right? That will then go to a conversion page where they'll make their second click. And then finally, it goes to the company who's paying us, their website. And it's not really even a website, it's really just a page, a small page usually. And that's where they perform the action and make the third click. That is the whole thing right there. Once they do that, we make money. And for those of you who've seen something like this before, it's often called a variation of CPA marketing. The difference for us is that it's kind of a bit of a hybrid, right? We take like all of the good parts about CPA marketing and we try and avoid the bad parts. And by bad, I mean just more complex, not that they don't work or anything, but more complicated and more friction. So for example, we don't use email marketing because, that's much more involved. And a lot of CPA marketers use email marketing where, you've got to figure out, well, why would somebody sign up for my email list? I've got to have some kind of, really good compelling reason or bait for them to do that. And then I've got to be a copywriter. I've got to have maybe, whatever, 7 days or 2 weeks of emails mapped out and sequences to try and get them to perform an action. Finally, I got to worry about email deliverability, all that sort of stuff. So we don't do any of that. We don't focus also on actions that require more than just these simple actions, right? So there are opportunities for this kind of marketing to get people to pick up the phone and call these companies. Well, as you can imagine, that's a hell of a lot of a bigger ask than it is to just get them to put their zip code in, right? More friction, more complexity. So we can build a whole business around these really simple on-page offers that have the simplest actions, which means the least amount of friction, which means we make the most amount of money with the same traffic, right? So simple actions, easy commissions, and we don't worry about building any kind of brand or anything like that. Now, this is back in 2006, right? I had been working in corporate for 20 years, but I kind of reached the ceiling, and it was, it was a turning point for me because I had to replace my income. I had a stay-at-home wife, a couple of kids in grammar school, and I needed to do something. I needed to figure out, how am I going to replace my income? And this was the system I used to make my first real money online, and it was a complete and total breakthrough for me. I made $1 million using this model in my first year, and that was 20 years ago. So I don't know what that is in today's money, but it's more, right? A lot more probably. Couldn't find a lot of screenshots from 20 years ago, but this is an actual screenshot of an offer I was running. That's the actual website. That's the actual payout for that one offer. Couldn't find any of the others. And yes, it's a horrible website, but it was 20 years ago and I suck at websites. Sorry about that. But that's how easy this model is, and we did find some more screenshots from 7, 8, and 9. I think that, look, I think the important thing to note is that I've been doing this for 20 years. And like I said, it was a big turning point for me. It was the first way I built my whole online business. I haven't had a real job in 20 years. And we're still doing it, right? And it's still incredibly successful for us. But in the past 6 months, maybe a little bit longer than that, maybe closer to 12, we've been ramping it up dramatically, really for one critical reason. And that is that, over the past year, it is not an overstatement to say that the world is going through more changes than it has since the end of World War II. I don't think that's an overstatement. The world has changed in almost any way you can possibly think of, right? Tariffs and new world orders and inflation and all that kind of stuff. And it's certainly impacting lots of different countries in different ways. But certainly in the United States, we're seeing, a lot more, a lot more cost of living increases, and people trying to figure out how they're going to afford healthcare, and education is going through its own crisis. People are trying to figure out how the hell they're going to retire. It's just a whole bunch of uncertainty, and business and the market and economies. If there's one thing they all hate, it's uncertainty, and we have that in droves because that's what change brings, right? And again, probably the biggest change in 100 years. But that's not even including AI, for crying out loud. So AI comes along at the same exact time, and just like, to add insult to injury, it's making things even worse, because AI by itself would probably be the biggest change since the Industrial Revolution. And, basically it is just making the future incredibly uncertain. I'll give you a real world example that has just happened. Amazon has just announced that they are eliminating 16,000 jobs due to AI. That is 1 out of every 20 employee in Amazon currently. But actually it's a lot more than that, because they're not eliminating any of the folks that do the actual work of moving packages and drivers and all that kind of stuff. It's the corporate jobs, it's office jobs, all that kind of stuff. So it's more like 1 out of every 10 office employee at Amazon is losing their job right this minute due to AI. Okay, that's the kind of incredible uncertainty that's out there. So people are naturally having income security issues, trying to figure out what the hell they're supposed to do, trying to figure out, should they bet on themselves and start a business, or should they, have a safe haven where they have a real job, which, by the way, thank goodness I didn't do that and go back to corporate, because probably 2 years after that 2006 milestone for me, I probably would have been out of a job again due to the global financial crisis. And some of these things are the same in online businesses. Online businesses have been very resilient, and for example, my business didn't suffer during the global financial crisis, and online businesses have been insulated from a lot of those things. However, there's no way that online business is insulated from AI, and it's resulting in a lot of different things, right? Like all the uncertainty that I talked about, but lots of other things. There's generally a lack of barriers to entry. So there's a lot more people doing a lot more things. I don't think it's really competition, because it's more like noise, but what it is doing is, I think as people are trying to figure out all these things, like, well, what should I do for my, to support myself and my family? What's my path to security? How do I start my own business? They're getting into this like treadmill of AI. It's like, well, of course it has to be about AI, because that's all that anybody talks about right now. But okay, AI, what do we mean by that? Well, you could use any number of these different models, right? And then, like, if you're going to use ChatGPT, maybe not only is the model, but then you have to, what version of the model you're going to use? Are you going to use AI agents, or what about the new thing that's coming out tomorrow, for crying out loud? Every single day, things are changing. It is a treadmill of, how do I keep up to date? And you get paralyzed by analysis, and you're never going to actually do anything. It's a massive minefield. And, the irony is that AI, at least in that context, has not made anything easier. It's actually made things more complex. Don't get me wrong. We love AI. We use it every single day. But we use it for tasks, like, it's absolutely made tasks easier. There's no question about that. But if you step up a level and you start to strategize about, again, all those bigger questions, what am I going to invest in? Am I going to start this business? How do I provide for my family? That's where it makes things more complicated. It has not helped. And so, if you take a step back in this new world, simplicity is really the secret weapon, right? And that's why the system that we're talking about here is the best path for making money online, not only this year, but beyond. I mean, again, we've been doing it for 20 years. And one really nice thing is, those of us who've been doing this for a long time, we love to sit around and have a beer or whatever and complain about how it's harder now, and it was so much easier 20 years ago. We love to do that. However, with this model, it's actually the opposite. And the reason is that all of these companies have gotten so much more mature, understanding the value that this brings to the table. And so there's tons more of them out there, and they're willing to pay more commissions, right? 20 years ago when I was doing this, I think I remember correctly that the biggest commission payout I have is $15 for an action, and that was a special rate. The regular rate was $10. Mine was 15 due to very, very high volume. So now you can find companies paying $40, $50, $100, and there are so many more of these companies. So it actually makes things easier here 20 years later, which is a nice change, right? And again, don't forget, we're not selling anything. We're getting rid of all the friction. It's just these 3 clicks, right? We get rid of all these obstacles and we can make far more money. And, you know, Aiden was talking about this and I was kind of alluding to it, that we, you know, these 20 years of optimization allow us to get more out of all of the visitors that we send, right? And probably an easier way to look at it is this. You know, we might start with, say, 100 visitors, right? That's the first click. They click on our ad. And then by the time they get to the conversion page and make the second click, you know, you routinely lose a bunch of them, right? But we only lose about half of them, or in some cases, even less than that, which is great. And the more that you can take from click 1 to click 2, from click 2 to click 3, the more money you make, right? And then you ultimately get to the final click. And that's the hardest one to convert, right? Because there they actually have to type something in. You know, they have to type in an email address or a zip code or whatever, but we make it as easy as possible. So out of 100 visits, we might get 5 commissions, and those 5 commissions, maybe they're worth $50 a pop. So we're looking at $250 for 100 visits. And if you compare and contrast that with e-commerce or being an affiliate for digital products, the difference is staggering. It's a 10x difference in income, you know, all driven really by, you know, the difference in the commission or the income per sale and the conversion rate, right? And oh, by the way, right, you don't have to fulfill the order, you don't have to deal with customer support, you don't have to deal with returned items, right? And the difference that's lower is because both e-com and being an affiliate for digital products, they require people to actually buy something. There's more friction, right? So we're going to make less money on those models than we are on this model that we're talking about, where there's you know, the least amount of friction possible. So we're just making more money. And if you extrapolate that out, you can easily see how, you know, I mean, it's the same 10x, but the absolute value of the number could go from 250 to 2,500, right? So guys, that's why this is the holy grail of simple money-making systems, you know, and, you know, it's getting rid of all of the friction. It's making things easier. It's relying on simplicity. And I tell you what, I can remember the moment 20 years ago when I knew this was working and I knew that this was going to change my life fundamentally. And I would love for all of you to experience that as well.
Just before I dive in and continue on here, guys, I'd love to ask everyone in the question box, is this making sense so far? Have you sort of made sense of what Steve's been saying there? And we're trying to share, you know, the state of the industry right now and why things have been changing so much and how things have changed. Yep. Okay, awesome. So look, we really believe that this is the holy grail, the very best way to make money online right now. And that's why we are doubling down on it. I mean, we've got a lot of other businesses that we've grown to multi-millions of dollars, but this is the one that keeps going from strength to strength to strength, whereas in some of the others, we have to work harder than we have in the past. So there are a lot of things that I love about this, but one of my favorite things is that the results that we get are based entirely on the time and effort that we put in. We're not playing a game of Russian roulette here. It's very systematic. So we work harder on it, we work more on it, we get more results out of it. You don't need to be technically minded. As you'll see in a few moments' time, there are very simple pages that we set up. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. It's quick, it's efficient, and it's something that you can add into the mix of your life. So if you're looking for a brand new profit stream in 2026, this could be it. If you're looking for something to prop up another business, you know, this could be it. The bottom line is this is a way that you can make profit. And it's a massively untapped opportunity right now that revolves around 3 simple steps. So these are the 3 steps that we take. Nothing rocket science here. Okay, we started by picking a top paying offer, and there are thousands, there are tens of thousands of these, in fact. Some of them obviously work a lot better than others. So we want to find the best top paying offers. You've got places like MaxBounty that are great for finding these offers. And some of the best ones are in the classic niches, if you like: health, insurance, credit repair, weight loss, general surveys. They tend to do well. But anyway, we've got an abundance of these offers, and we want to choose one that stacks up well that we can start using to monetize with. So we choose a top paying offer. The next thing we do is we launch what we call a conversion page. Now, these conversion pages are very, very simple. They don't have that many words on them, just a couple or a few dozen words. And there's only two things that someone can do when they come to one of these web pages. One is that they could leave, okay? And the other is they click the button and continue. And because there are no distractions, because there are no complexities, because it's very, very simple, and because we are giving people what they came for, we're giving people what they want, these web pages convert incredibly well. Like half of the visitors that come here are going to click through and wind up on the offer page, which is the next step of, which is the next part of step number 2. So, they come into our page. In this case, it's a page about auto insurance. They click the Get a Quote button, and then they're taken through to the page about where they can actually get the quote of the auto insurance. And if they put their zip code in there, then that is when and how we can generate our commissions. So the third step is to then get traffic coming in, and then we can get commissions. And the commissions we get are correlated to the traffic we get. So we want to get as much traffic as we can. But we start out by getting a trickle of traffic. So we drive traffic in a very cost-effective way, and we want to confirm profitability, okay? So we start out with 2 main traffic sources, and these are Microsoft Ads and Google Ads. Now, interestingly, these really haven't changed how we do these in 20 years. It used to be called pay-per-click back then. It was called Google AdWords originally. Pay-per-click is still kind of what it's called, but we identified the search terms that people are going to be typing in to find information, like maybe it's auto insurance quote, okay? And we can then get traffic coming in from that, but we're doing it with very small budgets. We're creating very simple ads. There's no images, there's no videos. It's just 12 to 15 words of text. We turn the traffic on, starts coming in, and we can gauge profitability, and then we can ramp up the profitable areas, and that's how we scale. And then we move on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. We're not trying to build up a massive empire here. We're building simple one-page websites, and then we're done. Now, I want to share with you 3 different frameworks, 3 different ways of getting to $500 per day. Just want to make sure everyone is beaming in for this part though, because it's quite cool what you're about to see. You are going to see 3 distinct different things. So if you're ready for this, just give me a 500, type 500 in the question box. And when I get enough of them coming in, we've got a load of people on this call. Thank you, David, Morrison, Denise, Catherine, Troy, Shipley. We've got Unique there, Bobby, Hamer, Nicole. Awesome, Linda. Okay, well, I can't keep up. Too many people. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Let's break this down. So this first offer here is about debt relief, okay? And if you look closely, you can see in the top left corner, the ad. So it says, click here to save money, get out of debt today. Okay, that's the basic ad. And that's something that we've created on Google or Microsoft. Someone clicks on that, they're taken to our page, and the headline says, struggling with debt, get help today. And then on the right-hand side, there's a green button that says, check my options, okay? Now, someone clicks on that, they come through to what we call the offer page here. And here on the offer page, they get started by just typing in their phone number, okay? And they click get code and continue. Now, once they've done that, we generate $30 in commission, right? $30 in commission. Now, if you think about this, if you back into the numbers here, if we were able to get just 17 people to do this, just 17, less than 1 person an hour, that would work out at $510 per day. This is not that difficult to do. I mean, it's simple. It's a simple mathematical equation. You need to get the right amount of traffic coming in, the right amount clicking on your ad, the right amount clicking on your page to come through, and then the right amount actually entering their information. So this is how it works. So that's the first example that I've got here. The next one here is about getting paid for surveys, focus groups. So we can see an ad takes us through to a very simple conversion page. This conversion page has got 2 different buttons on it. So it's got a start earning now button and a take your first survey button. They're taken over to this page here, which is the shopper's voice, and they complete their information to create their shopper's voice account, and then off they go. And on this one here, we're not making $30 a lead, we're making $2.25 a lead. Now you might be thinking, well, $2.25, that doesn't sound like a lot. But what we lack in dollar value, we make up for in quantity here, because these lower paying offers can oftentimes convert even higher because there's even lower barriers to entry. So this one here, if we could get less than 10 leads coming in per hour, 223 leads in 24 hours, that would give us $502 per day. And then here's the third one, again, completely different niche, just to give you a wide cross section here. This one is about home moving. So you're going to shift home, you need someone to come and pack up all the boxes, shift them all for you. That's what this offer here is about. So you create your ad, you can see the example ad, comes through to our conversion page. This is the page that we make. Our conversion page is linked up to the movers page. So someone then completes the movers survey to get a quote, and then we get paid $10.90 each time that happens. So with this one here, if we could get one person to do this every 30 minutes, less than 2 people an hour, 46 in a day, that's $501 per day with this. So again, and the other thing that I want you to realize here, in all 3 of these examples, we are helping people. People are searching for ways to get out of debt, and we're giving them options to do it. People are searching for ways to earn money or participate in surveys and focus groups, and we're giving them a way to do it. People are searching for home movers, okay, and we are giving them a free quote. So we're giving people what they need. We're removing the friction. It's simple and it works. So to recap on the steps then, the first step is to choose a top paying offer. The second is to create your conversion page. And the third is to get the traffic coming in, which drives the commissions. And the results can be absolutely mind-boggling, incredible results. And if you look closely there, you'll see some of the conversion rates, 44.75%, 44.06%. It's simple and it works. It's lower risk. There's a shorter setup time. It's much easier to scale. And you only need one successful campaign to really start crushing it with this. I mean, you saw how some of those examples, how you would hit $500 per day with them. So, how many of those do you need? Now, from the visitor standpoint, all the visitor actually needs to do for us to generate commission is to make 3 clicks. They need to click on our ad, they need to click on our conversion page, and then they need to click submit on the offer page. And that's it. There's nothing else that they need to do there. So you might be wondering, we've been building online businesses for nearly, actually not for nearly, for over 20 years. And teaching has always been a big part of what we do ever since 2007. So we really enjoy it, and it's really become a meaningful part of our work as well. But before we could teach anything to anyone, we needed to answer a very simple but important question. Could a regular busy person actually make this work in the real world? And that's where Vaughan came into the picture. So Vaughan is a dad, 3 teenage kids, 3 boys, very busy, works a full-time job, still works his full-time job, didn't have any special background in online business, no time for complexity or trial and error. He was motivated to build an additional income stream alongside his job. He ran into obstacles, and there were moments when he nearly quit entirely. And what we did with Vaughan is we said, look, you go through the process, you test it out. Let's see if you can get an income stream coming in with this. And by the way, he did. He has scaled to the moon. He is like absolutely crushing it. I think he's earning 3 or 4 times his day job salary at this point. He's crushing it. And we'll talk more about that later. But results aside, the big value that he gave us was he was someone without any experience coming in and sort of being a crash test dummy and figuring out, where are the pitfalls here? And he found them, and we worked with them, and we were able to then come up with solutions for them. So there are 4 key areas where people would be most likely to fall down with this. The first is with top paying offers, okay? The second is, and by that I mean, not being able to find them or getting the wrong ones. Targeted traffic is the second. Conversion pages is the third, and a way to track and scale is the fourth. So what we then did was create a set of in-house accelerator tools. And the accelerator tools that we built were designed to solve the problems that we had identified. And these are things that we now use in our business every single day. We use them to start new profit streams and to run the existing ones. And there are 4 of them, and I'm going to show you what they are now. So the first is a master list of these top paying offers. So the fact of the matter is there are tens of thousands of offers out there. There's more every single day. And the other fact is the vast majority of them are terrible. It's trash. They're not going to work that well for you. It's not that they're scams or anything. They're just not going to, they're not going to have the metrics that allow you to build the kind of business that we're talking about. So what we did was we spent a lot of time and resources to actually build our own master list of these. And this is what we go to anytime we want to set up a new profit stream. We come to the master list. We've already got things vetted in there. We already know where to find the offers, like Max Bounty and other places, and away we go. So this master list solved the issue that Vaughan had and that other people would have with offers. The second potential pitfall is to do with traffic. Now, one of the main areas where people have fallen down in the past with traffic is not being able to get it to convert. So not being able to get people to click on your ad, or your ad isn't performing the way you want it to perform. So we have a unique advantage there because we've had millions and millions of visitors come to our websites, and we know how to structure these ads, how to create these ads. We've got it down to a formula, and we can just fill in the gaps. So we didn't have to reinvent the wheel. We just hit the ground running, and we do that with what we've got and what we call our traffic vault, and that's the second accelerator. The third accelerator is the conversion machine. Now, this is next generation software. It's updated, completely updated for 2026. And what it does is it makes it fast and simple to launch these pages that I was sharing with you. So we select our offer. We can do that very quickly. We create some content, a couple of dozen, by content I mean a couple of dozen words to go on a page, and we plug it into the conversion machine, and our pages can be up online in a matter of minutes. In fact, I did this the other day just to time myself, and I was able to do it in under 7 minutes. So it is fast to the tune of being able to do it in minutes, thanks to the conversion machine. It used to take a lot longer. And then the fourth accelerator is TrackBeam Pro. Now, TrackBeam Pro is our proprietary intelligence tool, and what it does is it pinpoints our most profitable ads, our most profitable keywords, search terms, and our most profitable landing pages. So it allows us to see exactly what we can optimize, and then we can double down on that. So I like to think about what TrackBeam Pro does is it finds those nuggets of gold in the gold mine, okay? It finds those nuggets of gold, and then we can double down on them, because not all the traffic is going to be profitable. Some of it's not going to be profitable, but this allows us to identify those profitable parts of the traffic, and then we can double down on them. And this has simplified what we do. It's allowed us to ramp up profitability massively, and also save a lot of money, because there are advanced tools on the market where you pay $100, $150 for something like this. We don't have that burden anymore. Here you can see the dashboard, for example. When you log in, you can see the number of Microsoft conversions, Google conversions, organics that you've had, the amount of visitors you've had, conversion rates, and much, much more. There's also an ad headline generator in there. So I showed you how we create those. We've got those simple ads on Microsoft and Google. We've got an ad generator in there that helps us with that as well. So these solutions have solved the pitfalls and the problems. Top paying offers are solved by the offer master list. Targeted traffic is solved. Conversion pages are solved. And we've got a way to optimize and scale. So these accelerators boost the speed at which we can get results. So that's the system explained. We've been using this for a very long time, a couple of decades at this point, and it's allowed us to generate truly game-changing levels of revenue. So some of the most common questions we get from people when we're talking about this is, how fast is it to set up? Now, once you've got the different components that you need, you can be set up in as little as 30 minutes. Okay, so you need to get a couple of different ingredients set up, and then it's just a case of combining those, and you can be up and running in a matter of minutes. It's absolutely newbie friendly. I mean, it's very simple in nature. You don't need a huge amount of time to set this up. I would say a minimum of 5 hours, 10 hours would be better. The traffic platforms do approve of these pages. They do. We're not trying to do anything shady. It's all completely compliant. And then in terms of the costs for running the business, that's also very streamlined compared to other businesses as well. So, in terms of sort of foundational costs, you will need a domain name because you're going to be, you're going to need to have a web page online, so you're going to need a domain name. You're going to need hosting. You can get hosting for about $3 a month. You're going to need some tools. Now, if you're using our tools, like I just shared with you, TrackBeam Pro and the conversion machine, these combined are $2.53 per day. So it's very, very cost effective. And then you'll need to turn some ads on. Now, I'll share with you soon though how, if you want to get started on this, for the first 90 days, you wouldn't have any of the infrastructure costs, no domain to pay for, no hosting, no tools. You wouldn't have to worry about any of that. The only thing you'd be concerned with is some money for your advertising. Okay, so it's a very, very lean business model that you can run here. And right now is the best time to get started with this. I mean, Steve mentioned it. We're going through crazy times. So many things are changing. This business model sort of seems to be anti-fragile in nature. The more crazy things that happen, the better this one just keeps on doing. So, now is the time. We think anyone can do it because, again, it is the most simple model that we know of. You don't have to worry about competition, and you have a very rare first movers advantage right now. Also, you can do it from anywhere in the world. So Igor mentioned, I do live in Argentina most of the time, about 9 months a year. About 2 months a year, normally I'm in New Zealand, and about 1 month traveling in Europe and elsewhere. So, this is a business that lends itself to the laptop lifestyle. You can be anywhere in the world. You don't need any special business entities. You don't need any special tax set up or anything like that. So when Steve and I got together to plan this out, we were in Chicago in Steve's office. And what we wanted to do was we wanted to sort of put in words what we were trying to do here. And the mission that we ultimately came up with was to build the simplest, most supportive on-ramp for normal people to succeed online in 2026 without getting drowned in the complexity, which is something we've seen over and over and over again. So if you've had issues in the past, what we're talking about here today is the reset. Okay, this is the best way to get started online right now that I know of. So the fastest way to get started is to use the package of tools, training, and support that I'm about to go through with you now, because it is designed specifically for that, to allow you to hit the ground running. I'm going to go through the core components of our new program called 3-Click Commissions. And if you've got any questions at all, keep asking them. And then I'll share how you can get started today with something very special that we're doing here. Now, 3-Click Commissions is a never released before training program that we've put together. It's what it's all of the methodologies and systems that we use to generate thousands of dollars per day, and it's all of our secrets piled into this. So component number 1 is the on-demand masterclass training. Now, this is where we have put all of our knowledge, all of our resources, everything we've learned through 20 years of doing this, we've poured it into this masterclass training inside a members area where we walk you through module by module, step by step, everything that we know. Now, this is the gold standard of training for this particular business model. I've been all over YouTube, I've been all over Udemy, I've been all over school and other communities. There is nothing out there that comes close to what we are doing here. This is the gold standard for training on this model, and we're giving you absolutely everything you need. So, I mean, the value of what you're getting here is I think it's pretty hard to actually put a price tag on actually, but it's easily thousands of dollars is what this is worth. The other thing that's interesting is in the members area, the content is not drip fed. So what that means is you're getting, there are 4 modules in there right now. The first 3 modules take you through getting started, like giving you an introduction, going right through to actually getting commissions coming in. That's already in the members area, and you get instant access to it. So the on-demand masterclass training is incredibly valuable. And then we do something called expert sessions. So to complement what we're doing with the training that you get unlimited access to, we also do live workshops. We do 2 of them each week. These are like extensive Q&A sessions. And this is where we can help drill into different questions that you may have, do more over-the-shoulder demonstrations. Sometimes we do case studies, sometimes we do hot seats where we put something under the microscope and have a look at it. The whole point here is to sort of drag you along to get to that finish line. So these are great for accountability and just sort of being able to build that relationship with you so we can help you more and more and more. We do 2 of these a week for 8 weeks, okay? And I'll tell you how there's actually a massive extension of that a little bit later, but these expert sessions, 2 of them a week for 8 weeks is to begin with. Now, component number 3 is the $10,000 case study. When Steve and I got together, another thing that I actually said to Steve was, look, I've always found it really, really useful to have a case study showing, what I'm trying to do, like a campaign that I can look at. That I find it motivating, and I find sometimes if I missed something in the training, then I can fill the gap with the case study. So we put one of these together. These are hard to come by, but this one shows you how we've been able to generate $10,681 from just one campaign. I mean, you don't find case studies like this online. They're always behind a paywall, and normally they're in the high hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to get something like this. And then we've got the acceleration engines. So we have poured hundreds of thousands of dollars into these, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And there are 2 core things that I'm talking about. The conversion machine, that's how we build the pages, and then TrackBeam Pro, which is how we pinpoint where the profitability is coming from, okay? You're going to get complete access to these for free for 90 days. And after 90 days, if you want to keep using them, you'll get a heavily discounted special rate of $2.53 per day that would cover both of these tools. And that's the only infrastructure cost that you would have to run your business. But you get 90 days for free, so you can see how it works, you can get results happening, and then you can easily cover you should easily be able to cover the $2.53 per day by business proceeds, business profit. So the acceleration engines are a real secret weapon for us and have allowed us to up our game and just perform in a much more streamlined way. And then we've got the master lists. So I mentioned earlier about outlining the very best offers, the very best ad templates and swipes. This is all piled into component number 5, which are the private master lists. So again, hit the ground running, avoid making mistakes, and just get results in a much easier way. Component number 6 is something that Steve and I also spent a lot of time fleshing out over the last 9 months, and this is what we call the scaling supercharger. Now, just to be clear, this one component could and arguably should be a course in its own right that we charge thousands of dollars for, because one thing that we've done very well over the years is scale. We've done over $100 million in sales from our different businesses, and that's because we've been very good at scaling. I have seen in helping people over the last couple of decades, helping thousands of people, that many people get to $30 a day, $50, maybe $100 a day, but they struggle to then go to $5,000 a day, $10,000 a day, or beyond. And so what this here is all about is doing just that. It's all about how you can scale your business. There's a step-by-step framework, and then there's the exact blueprint for do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And this, by the way, is something that will serve you well in any business that you may want to set up. So you've got that. We've got a 2-day live event, which you'll be invited to. It's a virtual live event, so you'll be beaming in online. Lots more value here. And then we've got support as component number 8, and this is our private portal where you can get support anytime you need it. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, we're going to be there helping you. So we are giving you everything you could possibly need. This is without doubt our most comprehensive program that we have ever put together. We've really spent an enormous amount of time doubling down, making sure this is the best of the best of the best here. So no stone has been left unturned. You're getting everything you could possibly need, and the offers are solved, the conversion pages are solved, the tracking and optimization is solved, the traffic is solved, and step-by-step training and support every step of the way is going to help you. So you've got all the pieces of the puzzle and more, because we also wanted to make sure that we were doing things to gamify this, to help you sort of hack your way to results and to keep you accountability. So to keep you accountable. So with accountability, we've got a couple of different things that we do. The first is the certification system. So as you hit different thresholds in your business, you will unlock these different certificates. The first one is the $100 per day silver certificate. We've got the $250 per day gold certificate and the $500 per day revenue certificate. So the idea here is you sort of level up and you start unlocking these as you go. And then we've got a badge system as well. Now the badge system is where you unlock badges when you get to certain levels as well. And these can appear at different places inside the community and the members area. So this is a lot about gamification. It's like, you achieve one level, you want to get to the next one, so you get that status badge and you can push on from there. So I'll run through this one more time. I want to share with you now a case study of a campaign that generated $7,000 in 7 days. So we start by identifying top paying offer. Remember, that's the first step. The next step is to launch a conversion page for that offer. So in this case here, we've got the auto insurance page that I showed you earlier. We connect the two together, we get traffic coming in, and then here you can see the results, $7,779 in 1 week with a conversion rate of 44.75%. This is real. I mean, you can't make these numbers up, and it's the result of implementing the system, which comes down to where the visitor just needs to make 3 simple clicks. They click on the ad, they click on the conversion page, and then they submit their information and click again. And at that point, we've made our commission. We start with micro ads. So ad budget is not a big deal for us here. We're getting a trickle of traffic. We want to then identify where the areas of profitability are in that traffic, and then we double down on that. And this is how we've been able to scale to thousands of dollars per day. And then the third reminder is we're not selling anything. There's no products, no customers, no customer support. We don't have to worry about any of that because we're not selling anything. We're giving people free solutions that they're already looking for. And this is the whole point of the training. It's to make sure that you've got everything that you could possibly need to get set up and running with this. So if you're fed up with the complex and frustrating, online models that take a long time, then this is something that you need to look at. This is the best way to hit the reset button. This is the best way to build income online that I know of right now. And it's something we've been doing for a very, very long time. We've helped thousands of people from all corners of the globe. We do have one big caveat though, and that is that unless you take action and follow the steps that we show you, then obviously you're not going to get the results that we're talking about. And we do want to help you, but you need to promise that you're going to follow the steps. Don't reinvent the wheel or any of that nonsense. Now, quick recap, you don't need to worry about selling anything. The potential is huge. The web pages are simple. This is easier to implement than anything else I know. There are fewer barriers to entry. The conversion rates, as you've seen, are ridiculously high. There's no need to talk to people, and the setup time can be very, very quick indeed. We're giving you everything that you could possibly need here. You just need to get motivated, you need to take action, and you need to be patient and follow the steps. So the 3-click system is built for a special kind of person. This is for someone who's serious about this. This is for someone who's done with chasing shiny objects. They want something that's simple and that actually works. Someone that's willing to follow a system and someone who's willing to commit a little bit of time to it. You don't need a huge amount of time, but you need some time. And also willing to commit a little bit of investment to it as well, to the tune of $5, $10 a day to get traffic rolling in. It's not for everyone though. I mean, this is kind of by design. We are not going to work with people who are just looking to get rich quick. We're not going to work with people who don't follow instructions. Even if people like that come in, they'll be jettisoned out of the program. This is not for people who expect results without effort. This is not for people who want to, jump from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. This is for people who are serious about it. If you've struggled before, if you've failed, oftentimes, I would say the majority of the time, it means that either there were too many moving parts or the business model became too difficult. online business has fundamentally changed over the last couple of years. Most, like I would say 9 out of 10 areas of online business have got quite difficult at this point. But what we're talking about here today is still simple and it works like gangbusters right now. So what could it give you? Well, it could give you, it could give you financial freedom potentially. It could give you geographic freedom, time freedom. Ultimately, allowing you to live life on your terms. This is incredibly effective, and there are 2 caveats that I want to share with you right now. The first is that this is going to close very, very soon. Okay, we've been bringing people in for about a week now, and we're getting close, very close to shutting this down. And when we hit capacity, we will absolutely shut it down. The second limitation is that we've got our next expert session happening in the next couple of days. We want you to be in so you can take advantage of that and really hit the ground running with this. When Steve and I were planning it all out in Chicago, again, about 9 months ago, the original idea that we had was we would run this as a mastermind and we would charge $9,997 for it because we love masterminds. We've actually got one already called the Blueprint Academy, and we charge $12,000 for people to be part of that. We poured a fortune into the training and the tools and the system to make this as effective as possible. And we feel like, this is a fair price to pay, $9,997 for a small group of 30 or 40 people to learn everything that we've learned in a couple of decades of doing this. But then we also realized that it would limit us to working with 30 or 40 people. There would be people that would miss out because they can't afford it financially. There'd be people that miss out because they just weren't quick enough to get in, and so on and so forth. So we decided that we wouldn't run it as a mastermind, even though we think it would work really well in a sort of like a classroom setup. Now, the public price for what we're doing here is $3,497. That's not what you're going to have to pay today, but just so you know, that is what we charge for our flagship products. I can't remember us charging less than that in the recent past. Okay, we charge $3,497 for our flagship products. However, which by the way, we only do one a year. However, for a limited time, as part of our beta opening that's happening right now, we're making a huge discount available to everyone. Okay, this is not something that's going to keep happening, but right now it is available and it's happening, and you can get on the inside for $497. So 6 payments for $497 or 1 payment of $2,497. It is simple to get started. You can be on the inside in just a couple of minutes. You can choose your option. You can either take $497, 6 payments of that, or the one-time payment option. I will say that people who take the one-time payment option do save $485 versus the 6 pay. It's just got that discount baked into it. So if you can afford it, I would recommend that. We do have a money back guarantee, so we've got a no questions asked money back guarantee, meaning you can take this for a test drive, come on the inside, see if it's as good as what we've said it is. I can promise you that it will be because we're massively over delivering here, and get started with it. And if you change your mind, doesn't matter. 29 days from now, 29 minutes from now, send us a message. We will refund you without making you jump through any hoops, any of that nonsense. And we've also got a double your money back guarantee as well. This is us putting our money where our mouth is. Now, most people don't even offer a guarantee these days. They don't do guarantees, but we want you to have that peace of mind. And I haven't seen anyone doing what we are doing here. So what is the double your money back guarantee? How does it work? As long as you follow every step of the training curriculum without deviation and actively use the support system and our tools and our resources, we guarantee to not only refund your purchase, but to double your money back if for some reason you're not making commissions in your first 60 days. Why can we do this? Because we know how the system works. We know that it's systematic. We know that it's a numbers game. We know that as long as you follow through and do what we're sharing with you to do, then you're going to be able to get results. Okay, so you've got 2 massive safety nets there. The first is the regular no questions asked money back guarantee, and then we've got the double your money back guarantee as well. Now, I do have a big surprise, and I'm going to mention this, and then I'm going to ask you if you've jumped in. By the way, if you've already jumped in, just type in. If you're in process, type process, because we do have an extra special bonus right now. So you may remember that each week we run 2 live sessions with Steve, with me, with our coaches, and we're running those 2 sessions a week for 8 weeks. That's That's 16 of these coaching sessions, okay? If you jump in right now, we are going to add 100 extra coaching sessions to that. So we're going to extend it by more than 6 months, okay? 100 extra coaching sessions. The value here is through the roof. I mean, if you put a value of $50 on, just $50 on each one of these, that would make it $5,000 in real tangible value. And if you said it was like $10 value, that would still make it be worth $1,000. I mean, the value here is huge. It's huge. Now, the second action taker bonus are the Millionaire Mindset sessions. So by the way, you will get these if you get in right now while we are on this workshop. So the Millionaire Mindset sessions, this is actually a course, a start to finish course that I put together, based on camera videos, just like this here, where we talk about mindset and we talk about programming the millionaire mind. Now, through my businesses, I've done, well over $100 million in sales at this point. I've built quite a large personal fortune as well. And I think a lot of it has to do with mindset and getting your subconscious and your conscious aligned. I think this is a game changer for many people who embark on this. Now, I approach it from a different way because I'm very systematic and sort of logical in the way I do this. I'm not like airy fairy, the universe is just going to provide. I'm not like that. So I've approached it in that way, that it's very systematic, and I think it'll absolutely help you get better results from the program. This is everything I've learned in earning and generating an enormous amount of money, and in watching a lot of friends and other successful business owners do the same thing. And then the third action taker bonus are the exclusive recordings from the live event. You're going to get these as well. So everything you need, but you need to go ahead and jump in right now, okay? Now, I know Igor's got a very special bonus he's going to be talking to you about in just a moment, so don't go anywhere. You're going to want to hear about that because that is worth the price of admission. Just before I get to that, though, there are a couple of things I want to mention to you here. So the first is that when you're on the inside, you're going to be able to hit the ground running. Okay, you need to get inside today, and you're going to be able to hit the ground running because the training is already in there. You can also register for the next expert session. You can go ahead and you can do that whenever you're ready to do that. I want to share or talk about, what is the actual risk here? What's the risk you have in giving this a shot? You've got the 30-day, no questions asked, money back guarantee, meaning you take it for a test drive and you can change your mind. We're not going to say, hey, prove that you did this or this. We just say, okay, well, thanks for giving it a shot. We'll give you your money back, no hard feelings. The second thing we've got, though, is the 60-day double your money back guarantee. So this is the ultimate safety net, okay? What is the worst case scenario here? What's the worst that could happen? You could try it out. If it doesn't work for you for some reason, you're back in the same place as where you started, but you would have at least learned a new business model. You will have to spend a little bit of time. It's not magic. You will have to explore how this works. You will have to go through some of our training, but I don't think there's any downside here, The big downside is not doing it and actually missing out. So right now, this is your moment of decision. This is your chance to take action. Don't let hesitation hold you back here. Opportunities like this do not come around very often. This, by the way, is not something that is open to anyone on the web. This is not like some giant launch that we're doing. We've invited a couple of our friends, like Igor, if they want to invite their subscribers in to participate in beta. This is still the beta, and we're not like in general open to the public mode yet. So this is a very unique opportunity that get in at an even heavily discounted price. If you remember back to Vaughan, this is a guy that's got a full-time job, very busy family life. He didn't have 20 years of experience. He didn't have a team. He didn't have a lot of money for spending or on testing or anything like that. He just followed the process and was able to get truly phenomenal results that have now dwarfed what he makes from his online business, and he does from his day job, and he's got a pretty good day job. This is what's at stake here. This is what the potential is. It's time to decide. Don't wait any longer. You can secure your spot right now. We would love to have you on the inside, but you need to take the leap of faith. Go to the link that you can see on the screen. I'm going to actually pull that up and show it to you. So I'll show you what it looks like. I'll show you how you can get in. Stand by for a moment while I open up my page here. So I've just gone ahead and opened up my page, and in my browser, I wrote 3ccommissions.com/Igor, and it takes me through to this page here. There's not much to see here. It's just got the two different options. Option 1 is the one-time payment option. Option 2 is the split pay. Choose whichever one you want. If you can afford the one pay, definitely take that. It's going to save you $485. Click on add to cart. This is going to take you through to the ClickBank order page. ClickBank is a payment processor. They've processed billions of dollars. You enter your email address, enter if you're going to do PayPal or credit card, put your information in, click the Pay Now button, and you'll be on the inside. Simple as that. You could be up and running on the inside in just a couple of minutes. We're giving you everything that you possibly need here, but you need to take that leap of faith and jump in right now if you want to do this. And look, just think 30 days from now. Let's just think about that for a moment. Imagine what that could be like, you know, end of February, right? Let's say end of February, start of March, and that kind of time frame. You wake up in the morning, you grab your cell phone to have a look and see what time it is maybe, and you've got a notification sitting there. But what is the notification? Well, you just made $50 an hour ago while you were asleep. You look a bit closer, and there's another notification. You know, 3 hours ago you had another commission came in, $25. There's another notification there. 4 hours ago you had a $10 commission come in. Now, this might not be complete life-changing yet, but it's something real, something that's happening. And maybe your feeling is actually more about relief than excitement, because finally you found something that's actually happening and you know it works, and you get that excitement and that energy, and you jump out of bed because you are excited about this. It's like invigorating. It's like breathes, you know, excitement into your life. And oh, by the way, it can put money in your bank account. That's what this is about. So right now, if you are in, just let me know. Type in the question box. If you're still in the process, type process. Thank you to, I'm not going to read out all the names here, but thank you to everyone who has gone ahead and jumped in. I can see you typing in there. I do have one very, very special surprise. So I'm going to get to that. And then I promise Igor is going to come on in about 5 minutes time here. And he has got something that is without doubt worth the price of admission that you have to see. You're going to absolutely love it. Okay. But this will be closing soon. Don't wait any longer. Make sure you get in right now and let us know in the question box when you've done that. We want to help you, but you need to take the leap of faith. You need to take the next move. Get on the inside, join us today, and let us help you. Let's start working together. Now, one of the most common things we get when presenting something like this is people say, you know, I can't afford it. Now, if we look at the facts for a minute though, access to the general public is going to be $3,497. That's what the general public are going to pay. You're able to get in much cheaper than that right now because this is beta, okay? And you can even get in for $497. I cannot remember any time when we have opened up one of our flagship programs and someone could get in for $497 with a split pay plan. This is incredibly good value for money for the right person. Like for the wrong person who's going to jump from one thing to the next, don't do this. Don't waste your time. Don't waste my time. But if you're someone who is serious about this and wants to do it, this could be a game changer. For the right person, this is an absolute steal. And I think for that kind of a person, the real question is like, how badly do you want it? Because if you want it badly enough, you will find a way to get in, and you'll do it today. Because if you wait, you miss out. You risk missing out entirely when we shut everything down. You could be in a couple of minutes if you take action here. Now, the other thing that I'll mention right before I get to the next special surprise on the next screen is that perspective is everything. Now, I know that the price tag can be scary sometimes. This is not, it's not chump change. But look, what you're getting inside 3Click Commissions is unparalleled. There's nothing like this out there. There is no course that covers this business model better than what we're doing here. I've looked everywhere. I've looked because I like to learn, and there's nothing. I am so confident in what we're doing here, and I'm so confident that you're going to love it. We've got those 2 refund guarantees for you as well. So we've got the safety nets, everything. So if you want to do it, I want you to be able to see this in perspective and see that what you're actually paying for here is worth far more than what we're charging, because it is designed to put money back in your pocket. Okay, this is tools, this is training, it's education about how to build this kind of a business online. So I've been threatening to do something special. I'm going to do this right here, and then I'm going to hand it over to Igor. I know he's got something extra special that he wants to talk about. So if you haven't jumped in yet, what I'm about to share with you will make this, I think, an absolute no-brainer. This is an exclusive opportunity for you right now to be added to our private boardroom at zero cost to you. I'll walk through this for you. This is incredibly exclusive. This is not offered by default to all members of 3-Click Commissions. It is not. The boardroom is a private membership for a select group of action takers who, for the duration of 2026, will gain VIP access to confidential in-house intelligence reports, to What's Winning Now calls, to a systems and circuits mastery series, to a live in-person, not virtual, in-person live mastermind event with me. Now, membership is by invitation only. It is strictly limited to those who qualify, and you're going to have to sign a non-disclosure agreement as well, because we are going to be sharing things that we don't want spread around the web. Okay, and this is to protect the the value and what the boardroom is all about. So why are we doing this? The first reason is I would love to run a premium boardroom in 2027 next year, one that I can charge, I would charge $10,000 to $20,000 to be a part of. It would be our highest level of coaching that we offer with live meetups and all of that stuff. Now, the other part of the boardroom is what we generate on a monthly basis. So we generate reports, intelligence, resources, and this is a great way for us to organize these. It's a great way for us to reward action takers. So this is a win-win. I feel like we can provide an enormous amount of value to you. You are in the right place at the right time. This is not being offered to all 3-Click Commissions members, and the value is just off the charts. I mean, this is easily worth the price of admission just to get into the boardroom. Not everyone will get in. That's why I said, if you're jumping in right now, please let us know. If you haven't let us know already that you're in, let us know that you're in, and let us know that you want boardroom. I'll explain how to do it in just a moment. The only way to get in is by invitation, and you're getting this invitation right now. Because of the nature of this, we can't have hundreds and hundreds of people doing the boardroom, because remember, I mentioned that I'm doing a live in-person boardroom event. It's like a mastermind event. It's not like a large scale seminar. It is like a mastermind event. So it's for action takers only who jump in right now, and you need to follow these steps. 1, you need to secure your place inside 3-Click Commissions. 2, you need to let us know that you've done that, and let us know that you want to be added to the boardroom. And then to do that, you can let us know in the question box. You can just say, I'm in. Tell us the email that you used to create your 3-Click Commissions account and that you want to get into the boardroom. If you can't access the question box for some reason, then the backup method is to send us a support email. You can do that by sending us an email to support@3clicksupport.com. Let us know that you're in. Let us know that you're on this workshop with Igor, and we'll be able to add you to it manually. Once you've done that, we will manually verify that you are in, that you got in at the right time, and we will add you to the boardroom in the first week of February. You will not find anything out about the boardroom inside the members area, because it is different to 3-Click Commissions. We can't have information about it in there, because otherwise everyone is going to want to participate in it. But again, this is by invite only, and that's how you need to get in. So that's the boardroom. I think that is easily worth the price of admission here today. You just need to jump in and take advantage of it. So we are going to go through some of the most common questions, but before we do that, I know that Igor has put together an absolutely incredible package for you guys. Igor, are you okay if we pull that up now? I could, if you like, I could.
Yeah,
I could pull it up.
yeah, I actually have it printed out here because it's a lot, but let me give you a quick backstory on what happened. So on Monday, I do my coaching calls, and after last week's webinar, we had a great feedback, and a lot of people got the bonus I announced last week, which I will also be giving to anyone who joins. I'll go over it in a minute. But then one of my students said, hey, do you have anything else? And I looked into his profile, and he genuinely has everything. Like, I have quite a few customers like that who just, they got everything I I ever created. And so the same day I sat down and I decided to create something unique, something that didn't exist before. And here's what came of it. So I created a special bonus for anyone who joins Aidan's program that I call the Ultimate Email Persuasion Playbook. It is it's a multi-part bonus that consists of, first off, 222 email campaigns, actual campaigns that I ran to my list that have generated over $5 million. They actually generated a lot more than that. It's just something that I could verify, actually find all the, payments, receipts, etc. So 222 campaigns. Every campaign has between 10 and 20 emails. So we're talking lots and lots of email campaigns for you to check out. Then you also get the Meta Email Persuasion Playbook, where I break down the 29 meta persuasion principles I use in all of my emails. So usually in any one email, there's several meta principles at play that allow me to be very persuasive in writing. Next, you get a copy-paste profit kit where I, based on the 222 email campaigns that I have, I went ahead and I created 30 email scripts, fill-in-the-blank scripts for every marketing occasion to get people to buy like crazy. So I basically turned it into a fill-in-the-blanks thing where it's like, meet John. John is, and then fill in the blanks, your target market, right? So it's like an insurance salesman. And John has struggled all of his life with big problem, whatever the problem for your market is, not making enough sales, whatever. So it's like that, where you just have to replace things, bits and pieces. And if you're too lazy to do it yourself, you can always use ChatGPT to do it. Very easy to do. Next, I created 5 done-for-you email campaign plans. These are actual campaigns planned out for you, where I tell you, okay, day 1, you're sending template number 7. Day 2, you're sending template number 4. Day 3, you're sending, etc. Right? So 5 different campaigns for you to use. Next, an email persuasion audit checklist. This is a 66-point audit you can go through whenever you either send out an email or build an email campaign. Actually, it's just basically 66 questions that guide you on making your emails and making your campaigns irresistible. For example, there's going to be things like, did you include a deadline for your offer? Or did you use social proof in the form of industry friend or celebrity, etc.? Or did you stack your bonuses, blah, 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 right? So it's just very simple questions that guide your brain to say, oh yeah, I can easily do that. So finally, I'm also giving you the ultimate subject line black book that contains 49 subject line templates. These are fill in the blanks templates for your subject lines, and 3,154 subject line ideas. Okay, so basically, so you can never have a bad open rate day ever again. Okay, all this, I call it the Ultimate Email Persuasion Playbook. Again, you can only get it when you join Aidan's program. This is 100%, 1000% exclusive, doesn't exist anywhere else. It was created specifically for this occasion. Now, in addition to this bonus that I'm announcing now, I'm also throwing in the bonuses I promised on the previous call, which are, and I'll briefly go over them, the Microsoft Ads Academy, valued at $1,497, which teaches you my methodology for doing Microsoft Ads, something that will come in very handy with this program because one of the 2 traffic sources is Microsoft Ads. So I'll show you how I do my keyword research, how I set up my ads very quickly, which settings to turn on, which settings to turn off for the ads to be more efficient, to spend money correctly, etc. So everything, including an account, a video, over-the-shoulder video, how I start an account, how to set up your tracking using ClickMagick, everything, okay? By the way, inside that program, besides showing you how to get ClickBank affiliate links to promote with Microsoft Ads, I'm also showing you how to use MaxBounty, a CPA network, to get your landing page, get your tracking link, and then put it through ClickMagick for tracking, and then put it into an ad. So everything's already there. Okay, it's a perfect fit for the 3-click commission system. Next, we've got the Elite Traffic Pro 2.0. This is a program where I show you the other side of that world, where I show you how I built a list of over 4.3 million email leads using CPA networks, which I call lead banks, because just like Aidan was explaining to you today, that you can get paid for generating leads. I actually, after doing some of that too, I then said, you know what, maybe I can pay to generate leads. And then I flipped the script, and for many years I drove traffic, I drove leads through the lead banks, and so that was very, very lucrative. Generated a lot of leads that way over the years. So I show you in the program how I do it, how I structure it, what I pay per lead, and so on and so forth. This is a $997 program, including landing pages, bonus trainings, and of course weekly trainings with me on Mondays, unless you're already a member of those. Next, I would like to give you something called the 80/20 productivity system, retail value $297, because that's what people paid for the workshop with me. It's a live workshop that I've done, where I went over the productivity secrets that I used to take my business from making 6 figures, working nonstop, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, falling asleep with my laptop, to taking it to a level of over $4 million a year, while working 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, traveling 6 times a year, spending a lot of time with my family, and doing the things that I love. So it is completely, it's not a program about making money. It's a program about making money while working less. It's a program about getting more from less. So it's not one of those productivity courses where I'm like, okay, so what you gotta do, you gotta find a way to cram as much work into a minute of every single day. You gotta listen to podcasts on the toilet. When you're in the shower, you gotta, write down creative ideas. And when you're eating, with the other hand, you gotta listen to Tony Robbins. None of that, okay? None of that. Actually, you will work way less and accomplish way more if you follow these secrets, okay? There's also 5 bonuses that I gave away with that program, which I'm also including, which are the tech stack of all the software that I use, the not to-do list, the 74 things that I refuse to do to protect my time and my sanity, the one-sheet impact booster, and there's 2 more bonuses, the Master Delegator Quick Start Guide on how to hire superstars and where to go and how to do it. And there was one more which I forgot to write down. Please forgive me, but you will still get it. And finally, the Money Magnetics Accelerator, a $297 value. It's a workshop that I've conducted over 2 weekends, where I taught the habits and beliefs of people who end up making it big in life. So 6, 7, 8-figure earners. And what I've done is I broke it down into 2 parts. Part 1 is I shared the 10 poverty viruses, the behaviors, the decision-making protocols that people use unconsciously to remain poor, remain unsuccessful, and shared the 15 abundance amplifiers. These are behaviors, decision-making protocols that successful people use to increase their wealth, to make more money, to have more freedom, and to just do better in life. And this is what makes the difference between people who get access to the same information, but there's like people who don't succeed and people who do, right? So you can have 1,000 people go through a course or a program or an internship, and there's going to be like 900 who fail and 100 who succeed. So this is what makes the difference. And I created this program because over the years I've seen this ratio everywhere, and I got tired of it. I said, look, it can't be that I'm taking people through the exact same program and I'm getting different results with them. There's got to be something that I can't see that's making that happen. So this is it. This is the invisible stuff that's making you jump from course to course, from method to method, and not succeeding. If you've been trying to make money online for like 10 years unsuccessfully, you gotta, this is it, okay? This is what you need. So that's my bonus package, okay? And recap is on the screen. I also wanted to add a couple of points as to why I like this program, this Aiden's program. First, because the methodology is proven. I really love that. Second, Aiden comes out once a year, and this year the price is really, really low. Usually Aiden's programs are like 3.5 grand, 4 grand. You usually don't get that kind of price, and you never are allowed to start with as little as 497 bucks. So this year you are. By the way, if you do get started with 497, you still get all of my bonuses right away. We're not withholding them for any reason, so you can have them. In addition, what I like is the guarantee. I just don't see guarantees like that often in our industry. You just don't see it anymore because most coaching programs, most coaches, most gurus are like, well, give me money. If you don't succeed, it's your fault. It's kind of like that. This is completely different dynamic. Okay, so I'm liking that. Next, I also like the fact that this is non-AI system, like I said. So there's not, AI is exciting, don't get me wrong, and I will be producing programs about AI this year. Very soon, I'll actually come out with one program called the Monday Protocol. It's going to be very exciting. But that's something, for a little bit more advanced, right? To get you off the ground to start making money, you need something simple, something digestible, something that's not going to overwhelm the crap out of you. And this system is perfect for that, because you wouldn't believe how many people that you now see run these ginormous businesses have gotten their start in this very approach, this very industry. Just like Steve was showing, screenshots from his earnings from 2006, I think. Right, this has been around for a while, stood the test of time, survived all the technological innovations like the smartphone, the social media. Anytime there's like a technological innovation, this specific industry just keeps on either chugging along as it was, or people in it are making even more money. Okay, so yeah, there you go. That's what I want to say.
Incredible.
That's my bonus.
That's really incredible, Igor, and thank you for putting that together. One thing I want to say about that quickly is, we don't go into email, at least not in much depth inside 3-Click Commissions. So a lot of what you're getting here is the perfect complementary add-on. Once someone's got something up and running, they can unlock different parts of your training or use different parts of your training and really take to the next level. So that's awesome. I did see, I'm going to change my slides over here again now. I did see that someone was mentioning they were having an issue with checkout. So if you haven't managed to get that going, please just let us know. And if you've been waiting, now is the time to get in. Igor's been through his incredible bonus pack. So don't wait until the end of the call. Do it right now, okay? All we're going to be doing for the next 3 or 4 minutes is answering questions. I've got a couple of the most common questions built into the slides, and then we're doing live Q&A. So we're not doing anything else. We're not going to be showing you anything else yet. We will get to do a recap, but right now, this is your opportunity just to take a minute to get in, to go over to the page, open up 3ccommissions.com/Igor, and secure your spot. We'll get that link again for you in the chat box. So you can open that up, but that's what you need to do in your browser right now. Literally go and do it right now. Don't wait until the very end. It's better that you secure your spot. We've already seen, and this is something we've been seeing a lot lately, people try to make their purchase, and for whatever reason it declines, it doesn't work, the page doesn't work, something doesn't, I would say it happens like 1 in 15 times or something, but it has been happening for whatever reason. And we've been able to help the people that it's happening to, if we are here with you live like we are right now. So if you are going to go over now and do it, if you're going to stop what you're doing now and do it, then let me know. And I can just see John, for example. John said, I am having a problem with the checkout. I don't know why this happens, but sometimes it happens. If you are on your way to the checkout right now, to get in, just type me so I can see who you are, and I can watch out to make sure that comes through. Okay, remember, you're getting all of Igor's incredible bonuses. They are absolutely worth the price of admission, in my opinion. You're getting the boardroom, which includes the live in-person mastermind event with me, which is incredible value. All about that. You're getting the 3 action taker bonuses, and most importantly, absolutely everything that we've got inside 3-click commissions. So what are the most common questions that we get here? We get these ones. Oh, my slide. So the first one that we get is, how will I get traffic? So there are a number of ways you can do it. We are going to recommend that to start with, use very, very simple paid ads, okay? You don't need a big budget. I would recommend $10 just to get a trickle of traffic coming in that you can see it's working, and then you can double down and identify the profitable parts of that traffic, okay? Free traffic is an option too, but we're gonna recommend that you get started with micro budgets of this, a micro budget of traffic, $10 per day. I mean, you can choose what it is. I think that would be a good starting point, Microsoft or Google. What about the cost of running the business? Super simple. For the first 90 days, the only cost that you would have would be whatever you decide to spend on paid ads. We will cover everything else for you for the first 90 days. That means hosting will be covered, a domain name will be covered, you'll get all the software, the Conversion Machine and TrackBeam Pro, this is how you run your business, all covered for 90 days. After 90 days, what will the costs be? Well, you'll still have whatever you decide to spend on ads, okay? Maybe that's $5, maybe it's $10 a day. And then you would have hosting at $4.32 per month, okay? $4 per month. The domain name would be covered for the entire year because you'd get that as part of the Conversion Machine. The Conversion Machine works out at around about $1.50 per day, and then TrackBeam Pro works out at less than $1 a day. I like to think of these things like as per day, because then I can say, okay, well, I've got outgoings of, $3 a day, and to get that, to make that back, I need to make, not even one commission kind of a thing. So that's why I like to break it down per day. But TrackBeam Pro and the Conversion Machine, I worked out that after 90 days of getting them for free, they will cost you $2.53 per day, okay? Which is basically nothing. It's basically like the price of a cup of coffee or something. To run your business, it's absolutely unheard of. And you're gonna know well within 90 days how well this is working. What if I can't afford it? Look, this is in beta right now, so it is actually heavily discounted. I get that it's not chump change, but the fact of the matter is this is top tier, gold standard training, like the best that we have ever done. And we've done this, I don't say that lightly because we've done some amazing programs over the years, but right now this is the best program that we've got. You've got the money back guarantee, the double your money back guarantee. You can jump in right now, take a look around, decide it's not right for you, let us know, we'll give you your money back, okay? But you need to find a way to get in. Do it with a partner. PayPal Credit, I think is an option for people in the USA and I think the UK, where PayPal can sort of finance it for you. That might be an option. You just have to find a way to get in. What if I try and I fail again? Like this isn't like things that you would have tried in the past. It's simpler. There are fewer moving parts. You're not figuring this out on your own. Okay, you've got a system that is there to support you every step of the way, and we are building an incredible community of 3 clickers. If you like, that's what we're going to be doing. But we're going to be shutting this down. Shutting it down imminently in the next day or so. This is going to be coming offline. So you do need to jump in right now if you want to do it. Don't wait any longer, guys. We're going to do live Q&A now. So again, we're not going to advance any further. If you want to get in, open up the page that you can see on the screen. You can see the URL. You can copy that out. You can copy it into your phone if you want to. You can copy it into your computer. Just type in 3ccommissions.com/Igor. Make sure you spell it correctly to make sure it goes in there. I'm going to just double check that we've got that in the chat box, and I can see that in the chat box. That's where you need to go to sign up. You can click on that link that you can see in there, or type it into your browser. Do it right now. Don't wait any longer. Now is the time to jump in while we are still here live with you. Now, with that in mind, Steve, I believe that you've been rounding up a bunch of questions there. And by the way, I can see a bunch of people have just said that they are going to jump in right now. So congratulations to everyone who's gone ahead and done that. Let us know once you finish jumping in.
Yeah, there's been just a ton of questions going on in the background. So thank you to everyone for that, because it just makes for a more, higher energy engaging presentation. So really appreciate that. So I've collected a few of the more common questions that I thought might make sense for us to kind of, answer together in case other people have the question and they haven't asked it yet. So a lot of questions about these companies that pay the commissions. One of the first ones is like asking, what's our relationship, like me and Aiden, with either Max Bounty or these companies? And I think the gist of the question is like, are we getting a cut of, any commissions that are paid? And the answer is absolutely not. We have no financial, incentive, as far as these go. All the money that's made is yours 100% to keep. We do have a great relationship with companies like Max Bounty just because of our decades of experience. And the only way that will impact you is in a positive, which is to say, that if anybody has any trouble, like, well, who's this guy? I'm not sure we want to, we can vouch for all of our 3 clickers. So for sure, but we don't make any money on your efforts on building your business and your commissions. A couple people are asking, do we need a payment processor of our own? This is a really good question, really important question, because payment processors can be a real pain in the neck to get, particularly if you're outside the US, whatever, it's a pain in the ass, and the answer is no, you don't need a payment processor, and, you don't need to be like an LLC or even a company at all. The United States and most other countries have this concept of an individual who operates as a business, which really is just a fancy way of saying, hey, Joe Smith is going to be operating his business, but he doesn't want to go to the trouble of creating a company or anything like that. So in the United States, that's called a sole proprietorship. In the UK, Canada, Australia, it's called a sole trader. Again, most companies have this concept, which all that means is that you have to do, the bare minimum of basically just saying, yeah, I'm a company. That's about, where that's about all it comes down to. So a couple of people were asking about, a little confused about, okay, well, you gave me an example of like an insurance company, survey company, debt consolidation. Do I have to pick up the phone and call like Geico Insurance and State Farm Insurance and whatever and say, hey, will you pay me a commission for? And no, absolutely not. That would be the opposite of easy, right? So it doesn't work like that. It gets pushed from the other side. So companies like Geico will decide, hey, as part of our marketing plan, we are going to use, this method as one of the tools. We're going to run some Super Bowl ads, we're going to, run TV ads, and we're going to do this. And so what they do is they go to a company, a middleman, an affiliate management company like Max Bounty, as we keep using as an example, and they say, hey, we want to run this offer, and we're going to pay $50 a lead, and we want visitors to go here to this page and put in a zip code, and that is the action that we want, and we're going to pay $50. Could you tell everybody that because we want a lot of people running that offer? And Max Bounty says yes, and how this whole process works is that you go to Max Bounty and you look to see all the thousands of different offers you could run. We have a very set criteria that we want to, look at and pull out the right ones. And maybe Geico is one of those. And you find that offer and you get all the tracking info and you get where you're supposed to send your traffic, and there you go. And that's it. Now, Max Bounty does make a little cut for sure, which is fine because they're providing a service, but having said that, like if Max Bounty says you get $40, you get $40. So probably, Geico is paying them 41 or, whatever, however that works. So yeah, so that's how that works. You don't have to go call these individually.
Steve, just before you take one or two more questions there, I wanted just to answer one that I've seen come up. So Chris was just saying, ClickBank won't let me open an account. I think Igor mentioned ClickBank does have offers that you can sell, but ClickBank is not actually where we go to get to find our offers. In fact, we have a very, very good relationship with a number of the different platforms that we use to get offers. So good, in fact, that I call them up and just talk to them sometimes. In fact, I was on the phone with them yesterday, And we were having, I was saying that we're having a few new people come in and they're going to be working this program. And he said, look, if anyone gets stuck opening an account, let me know their name and their email and I will get them in. So that wasn't ClickBank that said that, okay? That was one of our main go-to accounts that we use. So I'm just mentioning that's for you, Chris Rue, who was asking. And I saw someone else concerned with something similar. So, you know, if that's something that you were worried about, then I wouldn't worry about that at all. Anyway,
Yep.
if you want to take another one or two there, Steve, then I can do a recap.
Yeah, got it. And by the way, just an extension of that, and if any of our customers ever do need to get into ClickBank for some other reason, we also can help you with that as well, because ClickBank and us are joined at the hip for other business reasons and stuff. So anyway, saturation. A lot of people, and this kind of leads off of what I was talking about before, where Geico wants lots of people to run the offer. So people were asking, and it's a reasonable question, you know, I see this from a lot of people who are just starting out. Is this going to get saturated? What if people are running the same offers? Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you, people will absolutely be running the same offers, and it's designed like that. You know, if you're Geico, you don't want just Aiden and Steve running the offer. You want Aiden and Steve and 20 of their 3 clickers running the offer. That's the way it works for them, because then you get scale and all that sort of stuff. And it's perfectly fine. It doesn't impact anybody. And the reason is that, you know, I like to use a metaphor when I explain this, but, you know, if you think of a big bucket, and almost a bucket that is limitless, it's filled with limitless traffic, and that's the internet. And all of us, you know, internet marketers are just taking a ladle and we're dipping into that limitless bucket and we're pulling out a little piece of the traffic. Now that little piece could be 1,000 clicks. I mean, it could be, you know, really big, but in the context of all the traffic on the internet, it's teeny, teeny, tiny, right? But it's enough to build businesses. And so that's why there's no you know, problem with saturation. There's no problem with people running the same offers. The bucket is limitless. Everybody can have their own ladle. And hopefully that metaphor makes sense, but it's never an issue. So don't worry about it. I'll do one more, Aiden, and then we can do, I know that people are asking for, just people were asking, like, is there any difference between, in my experience, if I pay the split pay or the full pay? And the answer is no, we don't discriminate at all. So everybody gets exactly the same experience, gets exactly access to all the material at the same time, and all that kind of stuff. So I want to make that perfectly clear.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna push on here now. I saw a bunch of questions relating to things that I think I can solve by giving everyone another recap. So let me go and recap on a few things, and we will be shutting this down in probably about 10 minutes time, I would say, more or less. So if you do want to get in, go and do it now. Don't wait until the very end. We do have a gift for you at the end as well that we'll give to everyone, but the best thing you can do if you're waiting to get in is go ahead and get in right now. I will ask you this though: if you're on the fence, let us know why you're on the fence. Why haven't you jumped in yet? Just type fence in the question box and let us know why you haven't jumped in, or why you're on the fence. If there's something that you need to know, then we can help you right now by being able to identify your question or your concern that you may have, and we can help you. Okay. So look, the potential with this is absolutely massive. I think you've got 2 main options. Just like anything in life, you can take the hard way. I don't know why you'd want to do that. You know, it would take much longer to get up and running. You're more likely to make mistakes. Ends up being a lot more expensive. The easy way though is to learn from people who have been there and done it. Hit the ground running, avoid mistakes, and just jump in and actually do it and get the results in the fastest way possible. That's working with us. So I'll run through this one more time. We pick a top paying offer through the likes of Max Bounty as one of the platforms, okay? Once we've chosen the offer, we then set up a very simple conversion page. You're seeing an example of one right here. And we connect that conversion page up to the offer that we've just selected. So it looks like this, right? And that offer is ultimately where we're going to be able to generate our commissions. We then turn the traffic on in step number 3, and that's what generates the commissions, and we scale from there. So it's very, very simple. It's very straightforward. The method that we use hasn't changed in 20 years. This is the exact same method. You can imagine we've been improving and polishing every little piece of this, but the method hasn't changed. That's good news. It really does work. You don't need to sell anything. The commissions can be huge. The potential is massive. I mean, you've seen many of our screenshots at this point. The conversion pages are simple. The traffic's fast. There's no need to talk to people. The setup time can be very quick. You just need to get in and get moving with it. I'm going to recap 3-click commissions one more time, what the components are. Again, no, don't wait until the very end. If you are ready to jump in, go and do it right now. Component number 1 is the on-demand masterclass training. This is the recipe. This is the over-the-shoulder coaching that we're giving you. You've got videos in the members area right now that you can hit the ground running with, okay? You can come on the inside, you can hit the ground running with these right now. You've got all the training you would need to get started and go right through to actually making commissions and having those commissions coming into the bank account, okay? It's all in there waiting for you. It's not drip fed, it's ready to go. This is the best training that exists on the web for this anywhere, and you're able to get in today for as low as $497 with the split pay if you want to take that option. So I think this alone, the secret recipe is worth the price of admission. But we don't stop there, because we're giving you the expert sessions twice a week for 8 weeks as we work through sort of the module by module approach. And then remember, we're giving you 100 extra expert sessions with the action taker bonus that I mentioned. So this is live interaction, it's demonstrations, it's answering questions, and much, much more. We've got a case study for you that shows you how this works, one you can read through. You're getting 90 days of free access to the tools, the Conversion Machine and TrackWeb Pro. And then after 90 days, you can keep access for as little as, not as little as, for $2.53 per month combined for the two of them. That's not market value. That's a discounted value that you would get sort of grandfathered in at. It would cost a lot more to get access to these tools if you were not part of this program. But for 90 days, you won't pay anything. So you're saving hundreds of dollars right there. And then we get you grandfathered in an ultra low rate. These are how you're going to set up and run your business. You're getting the private master lists that we've put together, the scaling supercharger. This is the blueprint for going from, you know, making a small amount of profit to making very, very large amounts of profits. The live event, the support portal, everything that you need. We've covered off, you know, the elements that could be pitfalls, and we've got everything you need to succeed. We've got the certification system, the badge for accountability, to gamify it, to motivate you. You need to take action right now, though. You're getting the Profit X bonuses, 100 extra live coaching sessions. You're getting the Millionaire Mindset session videos. This is the course that we have previously sold for $1,997. You're getting the exclusive recordings from the live event. We're not doing anything with Shopify. There's no Amazon. There's no digital products. There's no physical products. There's nothing to sell. There's no customers. There's no funnels. There's no AI tools. It is simple and it works. You've got the money back guarantee. You've got the double your money back guarantee as well. You can be in as little as 2 minutes. You can be on the inside getting started with this in as little as 2 minutes if you take the leap of faith and join us right now. Look, you need to make an informed decision, okay? We could be here for hours and hours and hours, and I could be telling you all the theory about how wonderful this is, and it would all be true, okay? But the way that you can really make your informed decision is to get in there and play around with it, okay? So it's like, you know, you can learn and learn and learn and learn about a new car before you buy it. But until you actually sit in that car and take it for a test drive and touch it and feel it and see what it's like, you know, until you've done that, you don't really know how much you love that car. Even if you've read the whole manual and you've been through every YouTube video all about it, until you've actually sat in the car and driven the car, you don't fully know with certainty what it's like. It's the same with this course. And so we're giving you 30 days to do just that. And if you change your mind 29 minutes from now, after you've come in, 29 days from now, we will give you your money back, no hard feelings, no questions asked. You don't need much time to do this business. You can get started with as little as you know, 5 hours a week to get up and running, but you need to take action and you need to do it right now. In fact, what I want to do right now is give you what I call a window of opportunity. So here's how it works. I'm going to start a little timer, okay? And I'm going to ask that by the end of that timer, we're not going to go through any new information or anything like that. I'm going to ask that you, if you want to do it, that you make your decision and you actually finish getting in, okay? So let me rearrange my my screen a little bit here, just so that I can do this and make it sort of dynamic for you. So I'm just pulling up a new screen here, and I'm going to start a countdown timer in my browser, and I'll share my screen with you there again. So you can see we've got 6 minutes and 51 seconds counting down there. So what I want you to do is I want you to decide in the next 6 minutes and 45 seconds whether you're going to be in or whether you're going to stay on the outside. And I feel like if I didn't give you this specific sort of moment right now to make your decision, this specific window of opportunity, I'd actually be doing you a disservice, because I know how good this is. I know that some people might need a little encouragement, need a little push to actually do what it takes to get in. I know it can be scary, but right now I'm telling you, you could get in, you could be on the inside, make your decision, do it in the next 6 minutes and 12 seconds, and you can start looking around. And again, I've got you fully backed up with the guarantees. So what is the worst that can happen here? Think about it. What is the actual worst thing that could happen here? If you try it out and if it doesn't work, it's all good, because you're back where you started. You're going to get your money back. You're going to know what it's all about. At least you'll be in a better situation, because you would have tried something new. So why not try? Why let this pass you by? You can do it right now. And some people say that one decision can change your life for the better, and I absolutely believe that. I believe that in our lives we have these moments. They're not that common, but we have these moments from time to time when we do something, or where we see something, or we meet someone that define our lives, and they go on to have ramifications later. Like that second photo there, that's of when I met my my wife. We were 20 years old. We were in Lake Tahoe, California, working in a ski resort, and I never ever expected that I'd wind up in Argentina, but I can trace that back to I met my wife, and now I've got a couple of kids, and I live happily in Argentina. But that was like a defining moment. And I've also had defining moments when I've taken different training programs in the past. Like I didn't mention this part of my story, but the reason that I ended up working with Steve is because I went through one of his training programs all about how to run Google ads way back in like 2007, and did incredibly well. And so then I met him. So that was like another one of these little points in history that I can kind of connect up. But you can't see them when they're happening. And I feel like this could be a moment for you, but you still need to, control your destiny. You need to take action and do things. And, Steve Jobs, he knew this was the case. He knew that the dots in your life connect eventually. The thing you do today impacts what happens tomorrow. It's cause and effect. It's common sense. It's a chain reaction. It's a domino effect. And for me, this represents opportunity, because I know that every day when I wake up, I've got another day ahead of me, and I can choose what I'm going to do. I can choose how I'm going to live that day, for better or worse, and there will be ramifications later for whatever it is that I decide. So, where do you see yourself in 30 days? Where do you actually want to be? What path do you want to be on? I find that people actually underestimate what they can achieve in 30 days, because massive action and the power of massive action is enormous. So if you jump in right now, there are some people that can change the trajectory of their lives, their health, their wealth, their relationships, and so much more. But you need to be in. So again, I'm asking you, if you want to do this right now, and we've got an enormous number of people, hundreds of people still on this workshop right now, then take the leap of faith and jump in and join us. We're good for it. We've got 2 decades of experience and history and good street cred reputation that we've built up, and we would love to help you. But you need to take the leap of faith. Just as that timer winds down there, a couple of cliches, but they're real. They exist for a reason. Success loves speed, and winners take action. at any moment in time, you can decide which side of the equation you're going to be on. Are you going to be someone that's a massive action taker or someone that's a watcher? You always have to be in to win. You have to be in the game to be able to participate and to be able to win. And you can only be in the game if you're on the inside of what we're doing right here. This is something that could dramatically change your future if you're willing to give it a shot. You're getting exclusive access to the boardroom as well, and all the other bonuses, but the boardroom, I mean, this is worth the price of admission right here. You need to get in, even if it's just for this, okay? So don't wait any longer, make your decision, jump in right now. And one more thing I'll mention while that timer is winding down there. And by the way, congratulations to the people who have said they are in and have got in the last 5 or 6 minutes here. Kudos to you for just taking action and making something happen. And you're now in a better position because you can move forward, okay? So one thing about 3-click commissions is it is absolutely stacked with leverage. It is jam-packed with leverage. This is what it's all about. Because, and by the way, leverage is like a superpower. Leverage is something that can help you win at life in general. If you look at people that crush it in all areas of life, they normally have a lot of leverage. And so with 3-click commissions, you are leveraging 2 decades of know-how. You're leveraging custom tools. You're leveraging, a system that you can learn in just a few days, and you can get up and running. And it can be running around the clock for you while you're asleep, while you're doing your day job, whatever you're doing. It can be working for you. But you need to be on the inside to be able to unlock that. The theory is no good here. You need to actually get in. So up until now, for the past 2 hours and 5 minutes, we've been talking about all the theory. Now is the time when the action needs to happen. So don't wait any longer. Go outside your comfort zone. Be unreasonable about this because remember, we've got those safety nets in place for you. Don't fall into the when-then trap. This is disastrous for most people. What the when-then trap is that people come and they say, when I finish this project that I'm working on, I'm going to start my new business. But life doesn't work like that. Life rewards action. You do an action, you get a result. It's like another example. Someone said to me the other day, when my kids go back to school, I'm going to start my new fitness regime. We've got our long summer holidays down here in Argentina. And they said that to me. And I was like, well, why don't you start right now? Why do you have to wait until your kids go back to school? Start right now. Don't wait. Waiting gets you nothing. What gets you something is taking action. And that's what we are asking you for here today. It's taking action and making an informed decision based on everything that you've seen and knowing that this is not like a final decision. You can test drive this thing, see how it works, and I think you'll be very pleased that you decided to jump in here, okay? What's money good for? The thing about money is that what people worry about is actually not the price tag. It's what they get in exchange for the money that they pay. So the value of money is determined by what you can exchange it for. So when you buy something, what you're hoping for actually is that whatever you get in exchange is better than keeping your money and spending it on something else. And we all exchange money every single day to make our lives better. We do it when we're buying food. We do it when we're paying for electricity. We do it when we're, buying education or software or tools. And this is what we're doing here. This is an investment in education and software and tools that is designed to do what? To put profits into your bank account. I mean, that's what building a successful business is all about. This is not like some loophole. This is something we've been doing for 20 years. So, how could you feel more comfortable about, investing in this than anything else? Because you are exchanging your money for access to training and tools that are designed to make your life better by building a profitable business. We want to have you with us here. I really want to have you with us. If you are willing to follow the steps, if you are willing to just put some faith in us and our systems, then I am supremely confident that you can do it. But you have to get in first. Information alone is not enough. There's too much outdated, garbage, plain wrong information on the web these days. What you need is information from people who are in the trenches, people who are doing this right now, information that is up to date, information that works. or you could just do nothing. You know, I mean, that's the other path, and the majority of people just do nothing. Well, they get left behind. You know, that life for them doesn't change. And maybe you've been burned in the past, you know, but this is not one of those times. Again, you've got all the safety nets in place. We just want to work with you, but you have to come in and you have to hit the ground running. And that's what we have planned for you here today. You need a process. You don't need special abilities or talent. There are 5 things that we see that stop people over and over again. And the first one is money. And you might be sitting there right now thinking, I can't afford this. You know, that maybe you're thinking that. And I even saw a couple of people type that in the question box earlier when I asked why they were on the fence. And the thing about money, this might sound a little bit unusual, but I believe money for most people is actually a psychological barrier. And I'll explain why. If you found out today that you had to get $497 together, otherwise your pinky finger was gonna fall off, one way or another, you would get that money together, wouldn't you? You would, you know, ask a neighbor for it. You would borrow it from someone. You'd sell something. You'd do something to get the money together because you don't want your little finger to fall off. So that's an extreme example, but what I think it shows us is prioritization is what matters. When something is high priority, you find a way to make it happen, come hell or high water. Okay, so that's the first one. And don't forget that you can come into this with, you know, all of the refund guarantees that I've mentioned so far. The second one is time. And I've mentioned we don't need a lot of time to do this. You're going to need some time, of course, because it's not magic, but you don't need that much time. You just need a little bit of time to chip away at it, and you can go at your own pace. Ability, spoke about this. You don't need special abilities. You don't need special talents. It's about following a process. Confusion is something I think that hampers a lot of people, holds them back in complex models. This is not complex. The pages we're building are simple. We're guiding you through step by step by step. And the best way to learn is just by getting on the inside and doing it. And we are going to be there with you, you know, to sort of hand hold you metaphorically and drag you along, kicking and screaming to the finish line if we have to. We want to see you succeed. This is our beta program. When we do eventually open this to the public at full price, $3,497, we want to be able to share your story, okay? We want you to succeed with this. Now, the fifth one there is actually the biggest one. Let's talk about fear for a moment. We are biologically programmed to stay inside our comfort zone, okay? Our comfort zone is where we feel safe. It's where we do what we've always done. It's where there's no surprises. And like I said, we are biologically programmed to stay there because we feel like we're safe and we're not in danger. Anytime we do something new, we go into what is called the fear zone. And this is where you make excuses. This is where other people's opinions start like impacting you. This is where you lack self-confidence. And the fear zone is designed to pull you back into the comfort zone. But if you just go through that, if you just blast through it anyway, because you know that logically you're not going to get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger or something like that, you get through it, you get to the learning zone. And that's exactly where you'll be when you're inside the members area. This is where you can acquire new skills. This is where you, by default, start expanding your comfort zone, and you can deal with challenges and problems in a constructive way. That's where you then get to the growth zone. And the growth zone is where the magic happens. And it's the same pattern every single time. I mean, this has been shown in studies over and over again. This is the path to growth. To grow, to get to the magic zone, you have to push through these other barriers, invisible barriers that try to keep you in your comfort zone. So I think this is powerful to have in mind when you're trying something new, when you're doing something new, because it's too easy to be stuck because we're like biologically programmed not to do anything new. And I feel like if you've been kicking around online or thinking about this for some time, then you deserve it, because there are so many other people that I've seen succeed over the years. And I've also seen people who have given up, and they've given up right before the magic happened for different reasons. Don't give up before the magic happens. Keep at this. You can do it. Don't give up. How much would this be worth for you if it could generate a profit each day? I don't know what the profit would be. Maybe it's $10, maybe it's $100, maybe it's $1,000. But if you're able to generate even a little bit of profit every single day, day after day, after day, after day, after day, I mean, that can really start to add up over time. That can turn into a fully fledged business for some people. how much would that be worth to you? Or how much would it be worth for you, not to have a boss telling you what to do, or to eliminate the stress of covering the credit card payments or the mortgage or whatever it is, to have more time for the family? These are the kind of things that are at stake, and these are the kind of things that you can potentially solve when you build a profitable income stream online. Now, with 3-click commissions, we have none of the components that you're seeing on the screen are just like here for the sake of it. These are planned out, and they build upon one another, and they each help put you in a position where you can get closer to ultimately where you want to be, which is succeeding. We've helped thousands of people online. We can help you as well, but you need to take the leap of faith if you're going to do this, okay? For me, it's all about lifestyle. I don't know about you, but for me, it's all about lifestyle, and that's why I do it. I love having time to travel. I love having time to spend with my kids and my wife and do lots of cool things. It's about lifestyle. So find out what drives you and use that and secure your spot with us here today. It really is a case of now or never, because we will be shutting the doors and we won't be letting anyone else in when we do that. So we are at the point we're about to do that, okay? There are 5 reasons I want to wrap up with here, and then I do have one more kind of unusual bonus gift for everyone, and the gift as well. So 5 reasons I believe this makes logical sense. I'll run through them. First, this is an investment in education that's designed to help you make more money. I mean, that alone is hopefully enough for you to see that, okay, if you want to make more money, if you want to make a profit, then this is something you could do. This is a new opportunity, meaning it's a chance to get new results. The financial risk is low. You risk missing out on something special if you don't do this, okay? And investing in this is better than spending your money on something else. I really believe that. And if you want different results this year, don't keep doing the same thing. We are at the start of the year now. We've got the whole year ahead of us. Chip away at this, add this to your toolbox, add this string to your bow. You can absolutely do it, but you have to be willing to get in and secure your spot on the inside right now, or you will miss out and you'll never know what could have been, okay? So the final surprise that I've got for you is something that is completely unrelated to online business, okay? But it's something that's worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And I'm gonna throw it in the mix for anyone else who wants to decide that they're gonna get in here today. So I'm gonna go ahead and rearrange my screen again. Right now, I'm starting a countdown timer, and I'm gonna talk you through what this is all about. So we pay money, we contract with a company, or we've contracted, I should say, a company that what they do, their business is filling up empty hotel rooms. So when a hotel or a resort has an empty room, that hotel or that resort doesn't make any money from it, okay? So what this company does is it finds people to go in those hotel rooms and resorts, and they can give you a free stay, okay? There are some small taxes or surcharges, maybe like $20 a day, like you pay for the Wi-Fi when you go to the resort or something like that. But you don't pay the room rate, which could be in the hundreds of dollars per day. So when a hotel has an empty room, they don't make any money from it. Okay, but if they've got someone in there, then maybe they can still make some money. Like maybe they're going to get room service, maybe they're going to eat at the restaurant, maybe they're going to get a massage. So at least the hotel has a chance to make some money. Okay, so what we can do, we pay a company whose job is to fill up these empty rooms. And because we pay them, they extend this opportunity to us, and we can then extend it to you. So this is something that you can use to have a free resort stay, free holiday stay, a hotel stay in one of over 1,800 resorts around the world in 37 different countries globally. You can stay for a long weekend or up to 7 nights. It depends on where you're going and the hotel and so on and so forth, but it's a free hotel stay. You just have some surcharges like $20 a day, something like that. You don't pay the room rate, which could be several $100s a day or more. And we don't cover your travel expenses, by the way, either. But we can extend this to you today. Now, this is real, we have given this to over 500 people. If you look very closely at my screen, 510 people we've given this to. The last person to take us up on this was Bob a couple of weeks ago. He went going to Hawaii. Tina, Bangkok, Pauline, Hawaii. Hawaii is the #1 destination at the moment. for people that are taking us up on this. Sarah went to Wellington, New Zealand. Aaron, also Hawaii. Todd, Paris. We've got Turgut, Cancun, Mexico. Dubai, Bali, Western Australia. That's Perth, Western Australia. This is real, okay? I know it's a little bit weird. It is real. It's one of those little like hacks that exists in life that you sometimes hear about. We have got the ability to give it to you. You can't go and do this on your own. We pay a company. We pay them quite a bit of money actually to allow us to do this. We can give you one of these. You can go for a long weekend or a week. It doesn't, you know, I think you can't do it in a place that's within 100 kilometers or 100 miles where you live. But I think that's the only caveat. And as you can see, we've given it to 510 people at this point. So it is actually real and it does work. You go somewhere in the United States, as I mentioned, Hawaii is a great destination. And you could check out Hawaii. You could go to, you know, Edinburgh, you know, Glasgow, London, somewhere in the UK. Australia, so many amazing places in Australia. Go to New Zealand, where I'm from. Canada, lots of options in Canada as well. Asia, Europe, I mean, all over the world, there are different places that you could go. This is real and it works. I'm going to do a final run through it in the next 3 minutes and 24 seconds. But as I was saying, if you decide that you want to get in, and you do get in and you let us know, then we will make sure that we extend that the vacation bonus for you as well. Look, the results speak for themselves here. This works, it's real, it works, and we can show you what we do so that you can do it as well. We're providing you with everything that you could possibly need, including the certifications, the bonuses, the badges. We've got the money back guarantees, not one, but two. Look, you just have to make a decision and get in. We will absolutely be shutting this down in a couple of minutes time, but right now you can get in. We've got that free gift for you as well. And you're getting Igor's incredible bonus. We'll be able to pull that up for you again in a moment. But look, now is the time to do it. If you want to jump in right now. If you're not getting in, just let me know why you're not getting in. I would love to be able to know that. That kind of feedback is helpful for me, and I'm not going to like read out your name and say, you know, why you're not getting in, but I would genuinely love to know why you're not getting in, because we have tried to make this an absolute no-brainer. And just while you're doing that, you can see the free gift there. Now, what is the free gift? It is actually a special presentation that Steve put together for our members, and we have extended it to you, and I think it's going to help you with you know, online business projects in 2026, regardless of what you do. Whether you do this with us or if you're doing something else, I think that'll help you. And thanks for all the feedback, guys. It really has been a lot of fun to present this to you here today. That is the support link. That's where you can go to get support. If we haven't answered your question, if you've got anything else that you want to ask, that's where you can go. And I did see a couple of questions. Someone said they needed to transfer funds to be able to do it. Someone else asked if they could go in with a business partner, and another one I saw was that they needed to speak to their partner before they jumped in. So what I'll say is this: we will absolutely be closing this down soon, and at some point, that link 3ccommissions.com/Igor is going to stop working. You'll go there and it will say it's closed. That's real deal fact. Okay. If that happens, then we can't get you in. We will also hit capacity with the boardroom. Now, we brought it on here today. We are live here right now. And if you want to get into the boardroom, I need you to make sure that you actually let us know that you want to be in. Now, the boardroom will hit capacity even before 3-click commissions fills up, okay, because of the nature of the beast. So right now, you can still get in. If you get in a few hours and you let us know, then we'll still be able to add you to the boardroom. If you wait 24 hours, I would think that most likely scenario is boardroom spots will be filled up, okay? Because that's not for everyone, okay? But if you do need to move money around, we will make sure that you get those bonuses as long as you get in before we shut down. Boardroom though is going to get filled up. So if you want to do that one, you need to move pretty quickly on that, or you will miss out, okay? So what I want to do now is I want to just one more time share, pull up Igor's bonus here. And Igor, I'm not sure if you're still there, if you're able to come back on and just whip through this one more time for people. Otherwise, I can quickly do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Your
as I mentioned
bonus
earlier,
is off the charts. I mean, the value here is absolutely tremendous. And
yeah, that's what I was doing. I really wanted
later on
to
about some of these things.
pump it up, So what happened was last week offered a bonus. Two parts of that bonus were about traffic, and two parts about productivity and, you can say, mindset. And then one of our members, James, he messaged me on one of our coaching calls, and he said, look, I have all this, can you do something else? And so that night I conceived this, what I call the ultimate email persuasion playbook, where there's actually several components that it consists of, which there's so much that I had to print it out on a piece of paper. Here we go. So first, it contains the 222 actual email campaigns that I ran to my list over the last 3.5 years or so. Every campaign can be as little as 10 emails, as many as 30 emails. There's like a strategy, there's multiple stages to the promotion, there's like a lot. And these campaigns collectively have brought in, from what I was able to verify, over $5 million in sales. So if anything, this is like pure gold. Now, the next component is what I call the meta email persuasion playbook, where I took the 222 email campaigns and I've extracted the 29 frameworks, persuasion frameworks, that are at the core of my email campaigns. So this is the strategic thinking that goes behind crafting these winning campaigns. So I articulated them basically for the first time in my life. Then I said, okay, now we have the campaigns, we have the frameworks. Why don't we create actual email templates, something that you can take and you can run with immediately, right? So you don't have to learn a course, because it's not a course, but you can just take an email script for any product, offer, niche, service, etc., and just mail it. So I created 30 email scripts for any marketing occasion whatsoever. Then I went ahead and I created 5 email campaign plans. These are full-on campaigns where I tell you, okay, it's going to be this many days. On day 1, you send template number this and template number that. So you basically don't have to think or plan. You just follow. It's like a meal plan. If you wanted like a personal diet coach or whatever, this is like a personal meal plan. Then I said, okay, what else we can do? And I created a 66-point audit checklist. So let's say you sat down to create an email campaign, and then you're looking at it and you're not happy with it. You know something's missing, you know something's off, but you don't know what it is. So this audit checklist will actually help you identify what's missing and fix what's needed to be fixing. It's done in the form of questions. So did I include a deadline for my offer? Did I include a powerful bonus? Did I craft my email using emotional language? Did I come up with a unique term for this principle that lies at the core of my product that I'm promoting? And so there's like 66 of these. And even if you go through even just 6, it's totally fine. You're still going to improve all of your email marketing. And finally, the ultimate subject line black book that contains 49 fill-in-the-blank subject lines and 3,154 email subject line ideas. You will never be stuck without a subject line ever again, period. It's a matter of just looking at the cheat sheet. So all of this, in addition to the Microsoft Ads Academy that shows how to drive traffic with Microsoft Ads search ads, the Elite Traffic Pro 2.0 that shows you how to actually become one of those companies that generates leads through CPA networks, where you pay for the leads if you ever wanted to become one. It's probably a little bit more advanced, I guess, but as a list builder, somebody who builds a list, this strategy was always amazing for me. Plus, it's a guaranteed cost per lead, right? So it kind of eliminates a lot of the guesswork from the list building process. And the 80/20 productivity system is my entire framework for decision making, for how I structure my work, when I work, how I work, what's my perfect morning routine, how to build your own perfect morning routine, what's my software and automation stack, where do I hire and how do I hire superstars to take a lot of the load off of me, do I use to-do list or not, how do I decide what to work on today, and how do I get so much done working only 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. And that's considering that I travel 6 times a year, very involved with both of my kids and my wife, as you know, relocated to a different country in the last year and a half. So a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, while at the same time, a lot of stuff, lots of impact in my work. In fact, I calculated this, and when I started, so basically, if you compare my what 1 hour of my time, the impact I get with 1 hour of work now versus what I used to do, what I used to have, I now get as much done with 1 hour as I used to get done in 3.5 weeks. 1 hour, 3.5 weeks. The difference is I don't work harder, I actually work way less, but I work different. So kind of like work smart, not hard. And finally, the Money Magnetics Accelerator. These are the 10 poverty viruses. These are the behaviors that are costing you your fortune that you must eliminate ASAP. Unless you don't, it's kind of like having a physical body with a virus, and you're like working out and you're drinking vitamin C and you're avoiding drugs and alcohol and you're getting good sleep, but you have a virus and it's just eating at you. So that's how most people live their lives financially. They have the financial virus that's not going to allow them to become rich. You're not going to get wealthy without eliminating this first. And the second part of it is 15 abundance amplifiers. These are the boosters, the things that you can do starting today to immediately start boosting your money-making capabilities and the capability of having money stick to you. Because I know a lot of people can come across money, but money disappears very quickly. So it actually comes down to how you behave around money, how you behave around people, how you behave around certain areas of your life, decision-making. For example, I'll give you one example. Many of you suffer from the so-called nice guy syndrome, which prevents you from setting healthy boundaries and forces you to squander your time and attention on other people's agendas. And when your friends or family are calling to help them move on a Sunday morning, you're going and you're doing that instead of working on your business, because the feeling is that you'll be selfish if you do. But if you ever been on an airplane, you always get told to put on your own oxygen mask first and then help the person sitting next to you. That's the exact same concept. You see, you can't be very helpful to the people in your life if you're broke, miserable, barely paying the bills, always struggling. You're a burden, basically. You're not of help, you're a burden. So you help yourself first, you become selfish for a little while, and then you're able to help other people. For example, I became very selfish at one point, and I refused my mother when she came asking for help with the bills. I said, no, I have to get this laptop so I can work on my business. She obviously didn't appreciate it. Me being, I've always been a very good, Jewish boy and never really went against my parents until then. And then, but fast forward a couple of years, I finally made it online and I bought my mom an apartment, 3-bedroom apartment, and my dad got a used car. Everyone's happy. Now my mom's retired, not because the government is paying her pension, no, because I'm paying her allowance. She doesn't have to pay any rent because she lives in an apartment that I own, that I bought specifically for her. And she can do her yoga and hang out with her girlfriends and do whatever. So there's things you just don't know, but you do them unconsciously, you do them unknowingly, they're holding you back. So this is what Money Magnetics Accelerator is all about. This is why What you're going to learn there is going to stop your shiny object syndrome, is going to stop your analysis paralysis, is going to stop that part of you that's making excuses all the time. And for some reason, you're always rich with excuses, but not rich with cash. All of these things, all of these patterns, you can finally get rid of them. So that's my bonus for you for joining Aidan's program. And
That's
whether
epic.
you do it on a payment plan, whether you go all in right away to save money, doesn't matter. You get my bonus regardless.
It's so cool, Igor, and I completely agree with absolutely everything you're saying there. So much value. So again, just want to thank you, you know, for having us here today, for inviting us along to present this to your audience. And we've still got loads of people here, and you know, we've been here for over 2.5 hours. So that's awesome. I really look forward to working with everyone who's gone ahead and jumped in. And if you haven't jumped in, the last thing I'll say is just, you know, find a way to do it. Find a way to do it quickly before this shuts down, before you miss out. You've got, I mean, the bonuses, you've got everything. I don't know what else you could possibly need. You just need to jump in and find a way to do it. So Igor, thanks again, man. It's awesome to be here with you, and look forward to chatting to you again soon.
Yeah, thank you, man. Hey, guys, thanks for attending. Thanks for spending this time with us. I stand by what I said. I think this is an incredible program. You should join it. You should go and make money with it. You're protected by an unconditional money back guarantee, a W money back results guarantee. The only reason not to get in is if you genuinely have extended all your credit, have borrowed money from every relative and they won't pick up the phone, have sold every possession you have on eBay or whatever, you don't have anything else. Look, this is something that can finally give you that breakthrough, because I've seen Aidan do it for people over and over again every year. Okay, Aidan's probably one of the maybe 2 or 3 people who I really push really hard for when it comes to these things, because I know that by putting you into his hands, I'm doing you a huge service. There's seriously only a handful of guys in this industry for whom I do this. Okay, one of them is Dean Holland, Aidan's one of them, Mark is another, but that's about it. Okay, I don't push very hard for very many people, and I also don't like working very hard, as you know. I'm very much a work smart kind of guy, so I don't go creating custom programs specifically to ethically bribe people to join, you know, a program for you know, for anyone really. So get in. Those of you who got in, you made a smart decision, super smart decision. I'm gonna get all yours information from Aidan later today, and we'll get your bonus dispatched. Those of you who are on the fence, well, know that you sit on that fence for too long, you're gonna miss out on the opportunity. Those of you who say that you'd love to get in but you can't afford it, well, can you afford not to get in? When was the last time you went out to the grocery store to check what a dozen of eggs cost? When was the last time you traveled? I've traveled so much in the last 2 years, and I'm looking at these prices. Anywhere I go, any kind of hotel, and usually I would go to really nice hotels as well, like the Four Seasons, etc. But even now, you go to like a 4-star hotel, it's $400, $500 a night, 300 euros a night for really unimpressive stuff. I mean, the inflation is real. I don't care what the government reports say. You know, 2.2% my ass. The inflation is real. Just compare what your rent used to cost 4, 5, 6 years ago. Compare what a cup of coffee used to cost 4, 5, 6 years ago. Then compare it to what it used to cost 10 years ago, and then ask yourself, what are you going to do when what it's going to cost 10 years from now? Because I assure you, the people who will be able to not worry about that stuff are the people who will be able to control their income at will. And those will only be the ones who figured out systems like the 3-click commission system or similar. People who have their own lists, people who have their own traffic sources, people who know how to direct, you know, network traffic to offers that pay. But it's certainly not going to be the social media influencer or the AI consultant. I assure you that AI consultants will not even exist, because AI will be so good that nobody will need an AI consultant. The social media stuff, it's changing so fast and so rapidly that anyone who relies on social media is toast. I know so many people who like got their TikTok accounts to 500,000 followers only to lose them, in 2 weeks, and then try to rebuild them again and again and again and only get to 50,000 because the algorithm keeps changing. Look, there's very few things that stood the test of time in this industry. As you know me, I'm a big advocate about on the do something that doesn't change thing. Example, Jeff Bezos still sells books, right? That didn't change since he started Amazon in his garage. I'm the same way. I ask myself, what doesn't change? Well, I'll tell you what doesn't change. Email doesn't change. That's why I base a lot of my business on email, almost all of it actually. Yes, yes. Human nature doesn't change. Yes. Affiliate marketing doesn't change. CPA marketing does not change. Okay. People will continue getting PPC traffic, pay-per-click traffic. That doesn't change either, because when we need something, we don't open the yellow pages anymore. We go online and we search for it. Okay. And the big companies, the likes of Samsung and Netflix and all the others, right? They're the ones who have the money to spend. They're the ones with the big budgets, and they don't even count those budgets. They just need to burn that budget every year because that's what their shareholders or their board of directors decided. Okay, we have $20 gazillion. We need to burn this on ads. Part of it goes to TV, part of it goes on YouTube, part of it goes on pay-per-click, etc. And so they need to burn that money. Okay, they don't care. They don't watch every dollar and every penny and be like, oh, we sent $850, but we generated only 49. We're gonna cut Aiden out. It doesn't work like that. They don't even know who Aiden is. Okay, they just need to spend that money on lead generation. It's very, very, very cool opportunity. It's consistent opportunity. It doesn't get killed by AI. It doesn't change because of social media. It's, there's going to be, if we're going to move away from smartphones and into some sort of AI device, that ain't going to change either. Okay, people will need mortgages, people will need washing machines, people will submit zip codes to get, free gift cards from Best Buy, that kind of stuff. That's not going to change. These things will be here. So do not underestimate the power of this opportunity. You cannot, like I said, if you think you can't afford to join, you can't afford not to join. You can't afford not to join. You'll be kicking yourself in just a couple of days when this closes. Because haven't you done that before? Haven't you sat on your hands and really want to do something, then got cold feet and then realized 6 months down the road, it's like, should have done that thing, right? We all have that. We've all had regrets. Well, it's up to you now. Decide what you're going to have, regrets or commissions. That's up to you. All right, Aiden, thank you. I think it's time to wrap up. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks very much, guys.
Guys, cheers. Bye.
See you soon.